Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to a Saturday morning stream. This is not something I usually do, but excited to be here and to hang out with two of my favorite people in the Splinterverse. We got Luthien 12 as well as Darkestnyte, and we're gonna do some bum or chum later. But there's so much happening in Splinterlands or Splinterlands adjacent stuff that I just want to dive into that for a little bit. So let's get into that. But first of all, Luthien, welcome on. I believe this is your second time on stream. It's
Yes,
so awesome to have you here.
I'm happy to be here.
For those who may not know you, which if you don't know who Luthien 12 is, I would be offended. But those who may not know you, if you want to just introduce yourself a little bit, and then Darkestnyte, you can go after her, and then we can just jump right in.
All right, I'm Luthien. I am a streamer. I stream on Splinterlands TV on Twitch. I've been playing Splinterlands for about a year now, a little over a year, and I love it.
Outstanding.
And yourself, Darkestnyte? Show off your OG-ness.
No OG-ness. I mean, I've been doing it for about 2 years, a little over 2 years. I just love the game. I play it every day, and I am thrilled to have to share that passion with you guys today.
I am very excited for it. So let's go ahead and jump into some comments. Just want to say hello to folks. So we got Brian in the house, Jedi Sky Knight. Justin's been waiting for this. The bum and chum. Let's go. It's time for the After Night Darkest Sound shows. I mean, I don't even know what our name's gonna be after today, but we'll see. Wibble's here. Andrew Johnson's here. Good morning, Gathering the Magic. Hey, what's going on, Jackie? So good to see you. Good morning, evening, wherever y'all might be. All right, Red Ted is here as well. Intriguing title. Oh, we're gonna have some fun with this. We're gonna have some fun with it. I am excited to be to get educated today on all the cards that I usually hate on, because we got two pro players here that are about to let me know exactly how they use them. Thanks, Merlins. It's good to see you. Harris is in the house. Virus is here. All right, well, we got a lot of comments. Okay, so just want to recognize everybody. Clevin, Woody. All right. And Harris is saying, I just watched the video of a YouTube Splinterlands creator reviewing my account. Oh yeah.
Hilarious. It is so hilarious.
Yeah, I know, he kept yawning. Poor guy. He must have been recording when he was sleepy. It was really nice of him. So he reached out to me, I think, on Twitter and was just like, hey, would you mind if I reviewed your cards? And I was just like, you don't need permission for this, but thank you for asking. So he just went through and reviewed my cards, and that was kind of funny. But then everybody in the comments was like, dude, like, grab a coffee, because he kept yawning.
Oh.
You know what's funny about that? He reminds me, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie. I'm big into movies, Luthien, so I'm sure.
So am I.
Okay, cool. So there was The Saint with Val Kilmer, and he plays a Spanish artist in a museum, and he's doing kind of the same thing. He's yawning as he's talking to the female star, and it reminded me of that, and I was just like, I guess that's just a thing. You'll have to. I'll find the scene and maybe we can review it.
Speaking of movies, I think we need to pause here, and I need to get Luthien's take. I don't know why it's taken me like over a week. I need to get your take on the new Lord of the Rings series.
Haven't seen it yet.
What?
Okay, there's a reason.
I mean, I know you got like 5 kids, and like
no, there's a reason for it, because when I watch things, I like to binge watch them. So I'm holding off until a couple episodes are out. I'll probably start next weekend. That way I'm not like watching one episode and being like, oh my gosh, I want to know what happens next. I can just hit.
I think they're doing like 2 episodes a week, right? Is how they're dropping it. So it should be like over, because there's only 10 episodes. So I think it's over 5 weeks.
Okay.
Okay, that's fair. I can respect that, but I also I just thought that you were a Lord of the Rings fan, but clearly
I am. I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. That's where my name comes from.
So I wanted to give you. I was surprised, because I was just like, oh, I need to ask her about this like last week.
I'm being patient. I'm being very patient.
That's
so that I
impressive.
can watch them all in a row. That way I'm not. Plus, I tend to like forget things, so I don't want to like lose the plot. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like I want to do it in chunks, chunks.
You're a binge watcher. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I've done that many times, including recently.
Yeah.
Darkestnyte, are you Lord of the Rings fantasy fan? Or?
It's probably one of the first set of books that I've ever read.
Oh wow, I've never even read the books. I mean, people judge me. I can feel the judgment coming, but it's fine.
I'm so judging you right now.
You know, I'm not a reader. It's just never been like I've never been good at it.
You should listen to the audiobooks.
Yeah, it's on
Andy
Audible.
Serkis narrates the audiobooks, and it is so good. He like sings the songs and everything. We're listening to the audiobook with my kids. We're still on the first one, but like, oh my gosh, it's so good. We listen to it whenever we're in the car, and Andy Serkis does an amazing job. He does all the voices and everything. So
I mean, he's super talented.
He's phenomenal.
Wait, so Darkestnyte, are you watching the series, or have you not gotten around to it yet?
I'm gonna hold off for now.
You're gonna hold off, okay?
For the same reason as I am?
No.
No?
I don't want to get into it.
Okay.
I'm gonna pass on my.
Fair enough. We'll leave it at that. All right, Liberty Guy off the grid is here. Roar's here. Yuki, what is going on? Ooh, Luthien, Woody wants to let you know that I beat you in a ranked battle the other day, and it is my proudest moment in Splinterland so far. I really hope it wasn't a bot.
I know how he feels. I know exactly how he feels.
So, Luthien, no joke. So Darkestnyte will like send me like victories over like other content creators when he feels really proud too.
Yeah.
And he never sends me those victory messages over you. He just says like, Luthien again. So that's why I say he knows how he feels.
I know exactly how you feel.
Oh, that's hilarious.
What's going on, Afbid? You like the pinky ears?
Thank you.
Alex, yeah, we need to get some. I would love to have Splinterlands related headphones. I think they gotta look into that. I do the same thing. I wait for most of the episodes to be released. So Harris is on the same page. Gathering saying, I love Lord of the Rings, but The Hobbit was too rushed, not as seriously done. Okay, but not great. Yeah, I don't even remember what happened in the Hobbit series. I just remember people were complaining because they took one book and turned it into 3 movies. And I was like,
and add a lot of stuff to it, right? So
they did.
I mean, I think they had a vision first of what they wanted to do, and then they adapted the story to that vision.
They
right?
changed it so much. Like Legolas isn't even in the book.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Oh, wait, was
but
Legolas
he's in the movie.
The Hobbit?
Yeah. But he's not even.
This is how much I don't remember the movie. I remember watching it. I'm like, oh yeah, this reminds me of like Lord of the Rings. And I'm just like, I don't know what happened. I know there was a dragon in there, but that's about it.
Yeah.
With Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson's version was interesting, right? Because I'm a fanatic when it comes to Lord of the Rings, actually.
Okay. And wait, you guys would get along so well. I'm excited for Splinterlands. See, this is what I'm talking about, right? Like, there's so many things that I feel like we just have in common or like common interests that the conversations are going to be fun outside of Splinterlands, which is great.
For sure.
As long as we bring pizza, we're good.
I can't wait for pizza. I love
pizza so much.
Yeah. But there was the only change that I could find in Peter Jackson's in all 3 movies there's one scene where Frodo is going across the river, and instead of it was supposed to be Glorfindel the elf that shows up to rescue him, it was actually Arwen. And so they asked him, why did you make that change? And he just said, for efficiency in terms of character development, we knew what we were doing, but we had to make a choice. And that was one of the best answers I'd ever heard, because it didn't really take away from the story, and it made more sense. And maybe, who knows, Tolkien, I can't speak for him, but maybe had he had a conversation with someone, he might have said, you know what, this does make more sense, because you never see Glorfindel again in anything, I think, in Lord of the Rings. So if I don't know if you're that much into it, Luthien, where you would know that little piece.
I didn't know that. I do know that Arwen plays a much bigger role in the movies than she does. She's not really in the book very much at all. Yeah. Something about the movies that really upsets me. Something that they left out is they left out Tom Bombadil.
They did.
And I love Tom Bombadil. That's my favorite part of the book is when they're at Tom Bombadil's house and Goldberry's there. Oh my gosh, it's like the best part. It's magical, and they left it out of the movies, and I'm so sad about that. But I understand why they did it. It didn't contribute to the plot all that much. Yeah. But the fact that they left it out still breaks my heart.
Can you sing a song? Will you sing a song?
No.
we still got to collab on something, Luthien. You want to audition?
We do. Yeah.
Okay. We'll do that at Splinterfest. We have.
Okay, we'll do it at Splinterfest.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Luthien, we're going to be in the same place. I should bring something I should bring some equipment so you can actually record something.
Let's do it.
Because I'll have, okay. All right, this is gonna be fun. All right. Also, Darkestnyte, you just proved your Tolkien and Lord of the Rings fanboyness to me, because I had no idea what you were talking about. So you went super deep cut that even made Luthien be like, yeah, that reminds me of like this other thing that's happening in there too. So
yeah,
my question has been answered. Now, oddly enough, Liberty Guy disagrees with you, saying Tolkien would roll over the grave. Oh, what they've done with the series, not with the.
Well.
I gotta say, I mean,
let's talk about Splinterlands, man.
Let's talk about Splinterlands. Let's get back into it. Yeah. Darkestnyte needs some headphones.
You guys not hear me?
No, I think we can hear you fine. I think you need some. I think you just need the Yoden headphones.
Yes,
we were just talking about.
Maybe they make some red ones or something.
I will find them.
I'll look and see if I can find some red ones, or we can get you some pink ones and spray paint over. All
right, what's going on, Lotnik? We have a fellow Guildy in the house. How's it going? Icy Flow saying Luthien beats me all the time.
Yeah, you beat me a fair amount too, Icy Flow.
I mean, I could play in Diamond if I wanted to, but I just don't, because I don't want to run into Luthien. That's why I stay in Gold. Randy K, what's going on? It's good to see you here. So Ahmed, I'm about to be so offended, saying, I'm just curious, what is Luthien 12 Splinterland stats and cards she's got? Never seen her before? Dude.
Oh, that's okay.
Check out
I'm not on YouTube.
Splinterlands.tv or Twitch, whatever, Splinterlands TV. Fridays and Saturday nights, my friend. She's there giving away
I'm on cool Twitch. Stuff. I'm not on YouTube, so there's probably quite a few people who don't know who I am, because I don't ever stream on YouTube. I'm always on Twitch. So, there's a YouTube crowd and a Twitch crowd. And, of course there's some, some people watch both, but, not everybody watches Twitch, and that's okay.
Let's see here. Oh, and your stats. So you play in Champion?
Right now I'm in Diamond, but I usually hang out in Champ by the end of the season.
How is the season going for you guys so
tough.
far?
It's ridiculous.
It is? Okay.
Like even on the Valhalla God account, which is Aggie's account. Oh my gosh.
You're playing Aggie's account?
Oh, you didn't know that? Yeah, Valhalla God is Aggie's.
No? Okay, well here. So everybody should know. She's literally playing Aggie's account. All right, so if you didn't know, now you know.
So even on that account, like I got to champ, but then I fell back because the frustrating thing is I'll have 2 wins and then I'll have a loss, and I'll lose more points from the loss than I did from my 2 wins. So I'm falling backwards, and it's really, really frustrating. So I haven't been able to like stay in champ.
Okay, I have a question for you guys, and this will be kind of like a nice little warm up for the Bum and Chum. You both have extensive collections, but I would say again, I know Luthien, you're playing a little bit more wild now, but I would say that your personal collection tends to be in more modern based, right?
For sure.
Whereas Darkestnyte, you were around at least a couple years ago, so you have a lot of those older beta cards. I'm curious, and there's no limit to this, but what are some of the cards that are not currently in your collection that maybe you've had the chance to play with, or maybe you've seen beat you in games? What are the cards that you guys would love to play if like cost wasn't an issue? And I'm kind of getting ahead to like Splinterfest. Sorry, not Splinterfest, but I guess Ghost Card tournaments, which will be introduced at Splinterfest. Like, what would you be excited to play with? If you could either have it gifted to you or you could use it in like a Ghost Card tournament, because again, I feel like Luthien might have a couple more, but I'm curious to hear yours, Darkestnyte, because you have a lot of the older cards and know some of the strategies, but maybe there's some like alphas or betas that you don't necessarily have. So Luthien, why don't you go first?
Oh, there's so many. I have so many holes in my collection. So many. I don't have Kitty. I don't have Yoden. So those are 2 big ones. Mm-hmm. But Shield Bearer and Truth Speaker. Oh my gosh. Like those are on my list of cards I really, really need. I have like a level 3 Shield Bearer or something.
Oh, you don't even have the shield on him yet, right?
Well, I think he has shield, but he doesn't have like any of the...
Oh, he gets shield level 3? Oh.
I don't even know. I'm not even
sure.
Fair
enough.
Because I don't play him. I can't. I play Uriel instead. So yeah, that's a big one. But he's so expensive. So I can't.
Great card.
I have to rent it. So it'd probably be Shield Bearer and Truth Speaker and Failed Summoner, and maybe Khmer Princess too while I'm at it.
Oh, she's good too.
Yeah.
What about you, Darkestnyte? I'm curious to hear what would be on your wish list.
My wish list would be Prince Red.
You know what? I feel like you only are interested in green now because of this epic summoner that's coming out.
It has a lot to do with it.
so Darkestnyte, Darkestnyte is like a player's player, which I love, and this is why I love because many people who come in many people who come in have like the player/investor hat on, whereas you play because you freaking love the game, right? And so, for example, one of the things that you regret, but not even really regret, maybe now more so, is the fact that you never leveled up llama because you're like, I don't play green, right? It's just not my thing. Whereas like people back then were just like $20 legendary summoners, let me grab them. Whereas you were just like, I don't really play it. But now you got this epic summoner, which you messaged me immediately as soon as they released the stats, and you're like, I think I'm playing green now. Yep. So you want to dig into that a little bit, because you're following up with the Prince Renin.
Right. So when I first started playing, I was fascinated with dragons. I love dragons, like all over my house. So I said, I'm going to play this game where I can play dragon cards. But then I saw death, and I was like, that's even better. And so I bounced back and forth between those. I never expected, I'll tell you this, I never expected to be playing this game this long, ever. Mm-hmm. Right? I got in, I said, this is cool. I'll play it for a couple of months and I'll move on to something else. Yeah. That was 2 years ago. And I still play every day. But because of that kind of short-term expectation of the game, I really didn't take advantage of some of the things that I could have, right? It was a huge surprise. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, cards like Prince Renin were out there for $10, $15. Like,
Luthien and I just shaking our heads.
I mean, so Luthien, you know, right? So
I wasn't here for that.
Oh,
I didn't.
She came in around the same time as me. Maybe a month or so before me.
Just slightly before you, after Sound. I came in like right when dice packs were about to sell out. So I got a bunch of dice packs, thankfully. I sold all of my amp, which is a crypto. I sold all of my amp and put it all into dice packs. I'm glad I did.
Still holding mine like an idiot. All right. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, and I would say, I had an opportunity to get Renin, level it up, right? But I didn't. Again, I felt like there were other things I wanted to do, and once things kind of exploded, it was way too late at that point, right? So, but I would say Prince Renin is probably one of the bigger holes that I have.
That card is so fun to play with.
It is.
Aggie has a max one on Valhalla God, and I love playing Prince Renin.
Okay, so now I'm curious, because I know you will probably continue to play Wild since you have a lot of the older cards, Darkestnyte. But Luthien, for you, moving forward, since we can't have many of those like alpha or beta like summoners, are you excited about Rebellion? Not because of what Rebellion will bring, but what Rebellion will kick out, aka Untamed and. Yes. So do you think that you'll be more of a modern player at that point in time?
Absolutely, because I will have an absolutely maxed deck for that.
For Chaos Legion and Rift Watchers?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I already have a max Chaos Legion deck. I'm working on a max Gold Foil Chaos Legion deck at the moment. So I will be...
You need to focus on Rift Watchers, I think. But fair enough. Okay.
I really want to have a Gold Foil deck because I have two other accounts that play in Gold and Diamond. Mm-hmm. So I have like max sets for those as well. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm, maxing my Chaos Legion and then, sending my regular foils over either to rent out or for my alt accounts. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So this is a good question to kind of segue into, but Woody's asking, I would love to hear what your plans are for the Rift Watchers presale. Are you participating? If you are, what are you thinking for packs? Luthien, please go ahead. We'll always have the ladies go first.
Absolutely.
My plan at the moment is to buy 2,000 packs.
You want 2 titles?
I do. Yeah.
Watcher, Baron the Watcher as well?
Yes.
Speaking of which, I should have said this off stream, but I sent Baron his lobster if you can confirm that he got it.
Oh, I don't think that he's looked at his account yet.
Okay.
But I will ask him and let you know. I'm sure he did. So.
What about you, Darkestnyte?
The Watcher fits for Lord of the Rings fans. So we have in the water. Right? So
I mean, it fits for Game of Thrones fans too, but that's aside from here.
That's good stuff.
Wait, sorry. Do you mind? Luthien, are you a Game of Thrones watcher?
No, I can't.
Yeah, it's too much.
It's too violent for me.
Here. I won't watch it either for the exact same reason.
Wait, for the violence?
Absolutely. Violence against children, no.
I started watching the first episode and there was like some violence against children in that first episode. I was like, nope, we're done. We're not watching this.
And the funny thing is, I started reading the books and I said the same thing. I said, nope, not doing that. That cannot be in the Rolodex. So.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm the only psychopath on stream. So sorry, Darkestnyte, go ahead. What's your Rift Watchers plan? And I think you have a little bit more of a non-traditional one.
It changes every day. So I'm FOMOing all over the place. The original plan was I was just going to get the cards that I want, right? Just buy those cards. Same thing I did with dice, right? I didn't get everything, but there were certain cards I like, and so I got those. However, with the dropping of the promo card, that promo card is going to be crazy, right? Mm-hmm. And I just want it as part of the Dragon collection. So I think I'm going to do 550 packs, right? Just so I can max out the promo and maybe the first airdrop. But, but I might change, right? So there's so many things to buy right now. We have Splinterfest coming up. That's going to be a ton right there. Yep. We have Rift Watchers. We have Genesis. We have Tower Defense. There's too much, right? There's too much. There's other. Maybe I want to buy another node. So I'm like, all right. So how do I prioritize this list of things that I know that I need to get?
I'm having the same problem.
And because I'm not an investor per se, right? I think I'm becoming more of one, right? Because I'm seeing all value just explode.
We're hanging out too much because you're making me a player and I'm making you an investor.
Yeah. But it's good to have that balance, right? Yeah. So I think I need to play it by ear. Now, I have started the unstaking process for all of my SPS, and I have the vouchers, right? So it's just a matter of taking those assets and investing in another asset. But I like vouchers, right? Vouchers are going to explode, right? They're already doing it, right? Mm-hmm. SPS is making its slow rise. I don't know if we'll hit $1, but we could hit 20 cents, maybe. So that's a lot of value there, right? So I'm just really trying to figure out how best to use that value.
So. Fair enough.
And next week it'll be a different answer.
Well, I was gonna say that was really a non-answer, but it's okay because nobody knows. My answer changes every day.
Yes. Yeah.
I think on the last live stream I told people that I would be buying in increments of either 50, 300. Oh, sorry, 50, 150, or 300, just to like guarantee some BCX. But part of that depends on before I was going to bring external capital and put it into the game, right, for Rift Watchers, because I was like, I don't want to deal with like buying SPS. And my worry is that September was actually going to be worse for crypto and that people are buying into SPS now. And then all of a sudden everything dips at the worst time. So I was just like, I'm going to keep it dry powder on the side and just come in. And then I discovered the value of nodes. So all that dry powder's gone into nodes. So I am going to be one of those people that just says, well, I guess it depends on how much SPS price is that determines how much I buy.
So question for you, because I remember the conversations we had about nodes, right? And I remember, and at the time, you felt like you were FOMOing into it. Do you still feel like you are at this point?
Well, I know you just want me to say this publicly because I'm backtracking, right? So I'm still salty. I'm still so salty about it, right? Like, because here's the thing, back in June or May, whenever they launched nodes, right? And then they announced that, well, it was actually before that they announced that they, what's that called? That vouchers were going to be issued for node license holders.
Sure.
Fundamentally, as a Bitcoin maxi myself, right? As a Bitcoin maxi that plays in too many altcoins, but as I looked at that and I was just like, I don't like the messing around in the monetary policy because to me that devalues SPS. Can you imagine if they had actually stuck to what they had originally said, where node licenses are going live in Q4 after Rift Watchers, after Tower Defense, all these stuff goes live, and the only way that you can get vouchers is through SPS staking. Well, SPS is my biggest bag in the game. I would have been sitting pretty, right? So when I said FOMOing in June, it's because I was like, well, they just devalued SPS for me. So it's not that I want to buy a node. Well, sorry, I want to buy a node because I want to support the network, right? The decentralization of the network. But I felt like I needed to buy a node.
Absolutely.
Just to keep up with like voucher production. So I did it at the time. I wasn't happy about it. I'm still salty, and I'll still sprinkle a little salt here and there. But now it's like the bots. You either get with the program, or you have to fight them forever. You get with the program. So now with SPS rewards going live, even though the software, I don't know what's going to happen with the software. They haven't announced that yet. So I'm just looking at it, and I'm just like, okay, out of all the like investment vehicles within the game, right? Non-playable investment vehicles, it's the best one if SPS rewards go live within the next week or so. So yes, I have bought a couple more licenses. And it's here's how much I'm feeling the FOMO. I'll be honest with you guys. I want to play tower defense and I want to get Riftwatcher cards, but I don't like all available capital is going into nodes right now. And I'm just like, to me, the way I view it is I would rather invest in the nodes and then take whatever earnings and yield from that and then buy on the back end, right? So it's a weird kind of FOMO because I'm now FOMOing as an investor, not a player. So I'm kind of like having to balance that in my internal whatever.
I think long term you'll be glad you did.
I hope so. I think so. I mean, there's just so much, and I'm gonna say this not to flex or to get into it, but like, because I think they're gonna talk about it on Monday's town hall. This is not the big announcement, but Darkestnyte, I already mentioned to you, like, internally I got a sneak peek at the GLS roadmap, and we're not even talking about GLS right now.
Exactly.
So like, if you talk about like what's happening within the game and like what's coming, the announced things, Rift Watchers, Tower Defense, whatever comes on Monday, like that's all cool for September. And then October, they announced like, is when they're planning to do all the GLS stuff. And I'm just excited about a brand new game, which should be a lot of fun to play. So, all right, let's see here. After sound, I need a cooler headset. Indeed. Bombadil, he could have taken in Dark Lord himself. He was way powerful.
I think he was only powerful in the forest where he lived, though, right? Because after he takes Frodo and the other hobbits to like the edge of his domain, he says like, I need to go back. They ask him to come with, and he says no, like I need to go back to my domain, like my home. Like that's where I belong. So I don't think that he could have, because I don't think his power extended that far.
Yeah. They all have their little areas of expertise.
Yeah.
As somebody noticed my face when you guys were going deep into the Lord of the Rings lore. I was just like, yeah, this sounds good. I believe you. Everyone, what's going on, David? Good to see you here.
Hey, Dragon.
Dragon, yes. Is Luthien new to Splinterlands? Yeah,
no.
Luthien a noob, complete noob. Aggie founder is just like, here's my account. Will Rift Watchers and other card sets being released soon affect CL sales? I mean, I think we're already seeing that. It's slowed down the climb to Yasik. Luthien is getting the hang of it quickly. All right, so not even 30k chaos packs sold last week. Everyone focusing cash on Rift Watchers.
It's not surprising.
Yeah, we have a lot to focus on, right? I think people are doing the same thing that we're doing, right? Trying to figure out where they want to put their capital.
Yeah. Luthien is Aggie's mercenary.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
Is that like an official term? Yes, indeed. Luthien destroys me on a regular basis. Oh, see, everyone's got a story, like a Luthien destroys me story. How did Luthien get Aggie's account? I'm confused. What is their relationship? Luthien, don't feel obligated to answer that unless you really want to.
I mean, I can't. I stream, and Aggie wants me to use the account while I stream. It's good promotion for the game. It gets people to see, all these cool cards. And, I've been around the community for a while, and, not that I'm special or anything like that, but, Aggie thought it would be nice for me to use it on stream and kick some butt with it.
I guess she's not giving you the secret, so I'm going to tell you. Get some freaking kitty headphones, and then Aggie will just give you his account. He'll just send you cards.
It's the headphones.
It's the headphones, right? Like, sorry, Luthien. I just had to tell everybody what the true reason is.
Well, that's how we became friends. Almost exactly the same way. I just delegated a bunch of cards and just have at it. It's really the same thing.
I had no idea who you are, but I kept getting these cards in my account from Darkestnyte, and I was just like, I don't know who this dude is, but or person is, I should say.
That's awesome. It's just to be clear, this is an alt account from Aggie. This isn't like his main account. It's an alt account that he's just delegated cards to, and it's not like mine. Just to be clear, like I'm only playing on it, so just so everyone knows.
Totally fair. All right, Icy Flow, I know you're kidding, but I'm gonna keep that one off screen. That's not nice. Aggie delegates his account to various people for promoting the game. Return Fire is huge for Shield Bearer with Wraith at max level. Yeah, I can only daydream about that kind of combo. I wish I had a Shield Bearer. Speaking of dragons, Darkestnyte, I have the biggest one tattooed on my back.
That's awesome.
So yes, I love it.
Cool.
I'm sure.
Are we gonna see it at Splinterfest? You gonna run around shirtless? What's going on, Kraken? It's good to see you here. Rift Watchers is almost here. I know. Dragon lower back tattoo. Oh gosh, let's not go down that road. Icy Flow. My entire back has 2 dragons on either side of a mermaid in the center. Okay, now I kind of want to see this.
I gotta see it.
Not like live in person where I'm gonna actually take your shirt off, but I kind of want to see this dragon tattoo with mermaids. It sounds artful, artsy. Brian's asking, so is Earth replacing Death as your favorite Splinter Darkestnyte?
Never. But I can see some opportunities, right? And you got to keep your strategies moving, mobile, right? Flexible. If I just play Death, then it's pretty easy to counter, right? So got to mix things up.
We're gonna fall so behind on chat, but I gotta ask because this is a good point. Darkestnyte, you and I have already talked about Riftwatcher summoners. Luthien, do you have a favorite or favorites?
I'll be honest, I forgot what each of them does. It's probably the Earth one, though.
It's probably the Earth one?
Okay, so I've been saying since Wild was, or since the Modern Wild split was announced, I've been saying the Riftwatcher summoner for Earth is going to be something to do with range. I knew it. So I've been buying up the Earth range cards, and I'm so glad I did. And I wish I bought more.
Yeah, same here. Absolutely same.
So I'm really, really excited about that. I'm like, I called it. I totally called that one. So I'm proud of myself.
Let me see here. Okay, let's pull this up because I think people might get a kick out of getting your feedback.
We can start Bomber Chum with this.
What's that?
Start Bomber Chum.
Oh yeah. Oh, let's do it. Okay, so we've been wanting to get to Bummer Chum. So let's go with this Bummer Chum. We're gonna go person or summoner by summoner. Yep. Now I think Darkestnyte people have heard your take on Fernheart already, but if you want to give just a quick thing, and then because Luthien already said that she's kind of called it right with Fernheart. Oh, actually, sorry. Let's do this properly. Luthien, Fernheart, Bum, or Chum?
Chum.
Chum.
Darkestnyte. Oh, I know you guys are big fans. Okay, let's move on to the Dragon Summoner because I think this to me is one of the most exciting, but it just has the most versatility, obviously because of Dragon. But how are you feeling about Thispa, Bum, or Chum, Luthien?
Chum.
Care to elaborate a little bit more why?
Because I really like Phase. I think Phase is a great ability, and I try to use it wherever I can because it really nerfs magic, especially if you have a lot of speed. So I'm very much excited to be using that summoner.
I mean, I'm immediately thinking of like pairing this with really fast death cards that have backfire, like Pelacor Deceiver or something.
Yes.
And Lyra the Dark and Supply Runner, and just like, because now that tank will almost be like your, not modern because Nightmare is technically modern, but you can almost make it like a modern.
And Nightmare is so obnoxious, especially with Kitty. Oh my gosh, Nightmare is obnoxious. So I can only imagine how good this is going to make so many splinters.
So many cards, yeah. What about you, Darkestnyte? Bum or Chum on Thispa?
Chum, for sure. One is Dragon, Phase, just like Luthien said. The artwork, amazing. Just everything. This card is phenomenal.
Interesting. Okay. All right, let's get to probably the most controversial one that has been dubbed the Vera of Rift Watchers, but that would be Dallin, the Death Summoner with the Cripple ability. Luthien, Bum or Chum?
I'm going to say Chum because I actually like the Cripple ability. And once it's not able to be cleansed anymore, it's going to be a pain in the butt. And so here's the thing. I don't know if you guys know this, but if you use something with Life Leech and it also has Cripple, like Murdamper, for instance, it gains a life for both the Cripple and the damage.
Oh, I did not know that.
So
wait, and you got Venari Bonesmith and what's that other Life Leech dude?
A Life Sapper.
Life Sapper. There you go.
And then there's also the
Ancient Lich.
Ancient Lich. That's what I was thinking. I wanted to say Temple Priest, but that's the life card. Ancient Lich. You know, in Gladius cards, you have Witch of Warwick. Yeah, this is going to be huge. Okay. And I think people are seriously underestimating it.
All right, fair enough. Oh well, I mean that just sold me, not sold me, but it definitely opened my eyes to something new with the life leech element. So, what about you, Darkestnyte? This is a death summoner, Bum or Chum?
Chum for sure. If it gets fixed, right, that's the key. If they do what Matt said, then yeah,
the cleanse element, right? Not being able to cleanse cripple.
Yeah, because the problem with it in its current form is if it gets cleansed, then it acts like a heal as well, right? So you want to, they have to fix that.
Okay.
And he said he would. So, and he generally does what he says he's going to do. So I'm good.
Fair enough. All right. Let's move over to the bottom row. So Luthien in the Life Splinter, giving you +1 speed to all those slow life cards, as well as Return Fire. Luthien, Bum or Chum?
I don't really know either way yet on that one. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't play Life a whole lot unless I'm playing Lorna. I really like Lorna. Mm-hmm. I feel that Life can tend to be glass cannons, a lot of glass cannons. You know, they can very easily die, especially with magic. I'm not sure on that one yet. I'm gonna reserve judgment.
What about you, Darkestnyte? Bum or Chum on Luthien?
So I see the value in it, right? But I'm gonna say Bum. We just got Wraith. Wraith handles all of the weaknesses of Life. I wouldn't use this card over that one unless I had to in terms of just mana for the battle, right? But I'm not going to go looking for this card now. I will say, adding speed, we all know, adding speed is great. And the Return Fire is excellent, especially since we can expect that people are probably going to use more range with Fernheart, right? So I just think it's a counter to that. But if you use range, I think it's going to tear you up along with Amplify. But it's so niche. I just can't imagine grabbing this card over all the other options that I have.
Yeah, I would say that this is probably the Vera.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I hope so. I'm actually a fan of this card, which I guess makes me, which explains why I'm using all the wrong summoners. But
that's funny.
I think it's definitely niche, but it's niche in the same way and the same reason that I kind of like General Sloan, right? Like, again, I wish I could find the stats somewhere, but I feel like my win rate with General Sloan is high. Not because General Sloan is a great summoner, but because there's certain specific rule sets where I know when to use it, or I know how to use it as a perfect counter to whatever my opponent is doing, right? Especially with something like Mylar. Like those are the games that I love playing someone like General Sloan with. And I think Fernheart will probably take that role too, with Thorns. What I like about Luthien and where I plan to use it is potentially in rule sets that don't offer like the one or other attack type. So if it's a no melee match, then I would love to put Luthien up front with Pelacor Conjurer, right? Because all of a sudden that thing is going to be doing damage back no matter what hits it. And then at the same time, if it's a non-magic battle, then you could throw someone like what's his name? The big dude, Uriel, right up front with a ton of armor, or someone with a ton of armor. So I like it, but I guess this is already showing where we'll have to see. All right, so Luthien's calling it the Vera of the set. Let's move on to Aquatus and those crazy mermaid abs that apparently this dude has. So what are we thinking about Backfire in the Water Splinter?
Absolutely enormous Chum. Can you imagine this thing with Oceanus?
No, Luthien, I wanted to talk about not just about the artwork, but about the ability.
Ha ha.
Well.
Hilarious. You're so funny.
I know. I try.
Can you imagine this thing with Oceanus, though? Seriously. It's going to be insane. There are so many fast water cards already, and Oceanus has phase with Backfire. Oh, that's going to be mean. I'm so excited for this one. I'm probably more excited for this one than Fernheart, actually, now that I think about it.
All right, what about you, Darkestnyte? Bum or Chum?
Absolute Chum. Phantom of the Abyss. It's just going to tear people up.
Oh, yeah.
Phantom of the Abyss. I think with Demon Shark is another one. Like when Demon Shark gets enraged, there's so many misses on him, and now you're gonna be doing 2 damage back. I don't know. I'm really excited about Aquatis for sure.
Yeah. Okay, speed at its best, I think, right? So
let's move on to the final one, Skargor, and fire. So you're gonna get Enrage here, which I think can come in handy for a lot of the big chunky melee monsters that fire tends to have. But Luthien, Bum or Chum on Skargor?
I'm gonna say a soft Chum. Because I'm not quite sure yet. I can see this doing well with like Forgotten One because of the Retaliate. Enrage and Retaliate are a very good combination.
Yep. Okay.
I could see this enhancing Grum.
Wait, isn't Enrage and Retaliate the same as Lord of Darkness? Doesn't he have those two together?
Yes, he does.
Oh, he always destroys me. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. So you said with Grum.
Yeah. So I think that this one could be good, but on the other hand, fire tends to not be super melee heavy. Like I feel like there's a lot of range, and maybe it's just because I play Yoden with fire, but I'm not entirely sold on it.
Okay.
But I think that it could be good. I think it has potential. We'll see.
All right. What about you, Darkestnyte?
I think this card is going to be dominant.
Dominant. Okay.
Yes. Just the insanity that this card will represent. Because what does Enrage do, right? Increases damage, speed, health, right? So I think it's health. Yeah. So
I don't think it does health.
Then no, that's right. It can't do health because that would counter the Enrage. But damage and speed, right? So there are a lot of cards that are limited by their speed, right? And Rum specifically has a bloodlust, right? So I think that the cards like that are going to be super dominant. Again, it depends, right? Because they have to take damage. I think in certain rule sets, it'll be just ridiculous, like the poison rule set, right? Everyone will be damaged after the first turn. Everybody's damage is going to go
You're
up.
right. Holy crap. Okay. Yeah.
Same thing with Earthquake, right? Everybody's going to take damage.
Yeah.
Increase the, their damage, increase their speed. So it's a race to see how quickly you can obliterate the other side, right? But you're getting the benefit from taking damage. That's the whole point of a battle, right? Is to damage your opponent's cards. So I think that this and here's the thing, right? The synergies for this card can't even be predicted, right? Like you can't even predict where this card's going to go and what's going to happen during a battle. Very similar to Yasek, right? A lot of unknowns, a lot of chaos, a lot of just complete mayhem on the battlefield. This card contains that same kind of narrative.
So something I do want to say is that I feel like a lot of the more backline melee monsters in Fire tend to not have a ton of health.
Yeah.
So after they get, there's a good chance that they'll just die when they get one hit. Like, for instance, Serpentine Spy. It's a great card, but it's very low health. I think maybe if you have some armor, but again, like it wouldn't get enraged if it just hits the armor. So I don't know. I'm kind of torn on this. I can see it being really good with Forgotten One for that Retaliate. I think that could turn into like a Lord of Darkness situation. But I think with some of the low health monsters, the low health melee monsters in Fire, it could be more of a bum.
Yeah, you'll have to use it right? So Phineas Rage has high health.
Right? Oh, Phineas Rage would be good, yeah.
That would be good.
Mental Phoenix has high health. What's another one? The Cerberus. Cerberus has Retaliate and Heal, right? So it's going to bounce back and forth between Enrage and not.
Phineas has Retaliate too.
He does.
That would be a really good one. I need to max mine now. Guys, don't go buying Phineas until I've maxed mine, okay?
Yeah, all right.
And what else?
Stream delay. Sorry, we're going to have to take a 5-minute break.
Think about, but also high speed as well, right? So now, hold on, let me look at the max speed for that one. So at its peak, it's 6 speed, right? So now that goes to what, 9? Is it +3?
No, it's plus like
2.
plus 50%, whatever it is.
So that'll be 3. right? So yeah, so that'll go to 9 plus. I mean, that'll be almost unhittable, right?
Yeah.
If you add any other speed in there, then you're it's even better, right? You can get up to 10, 11 speed, right? That might take out the enemy team right there. So yeah, and with the retaliate, it's crazy. So,
yeah, I mean, I'm immediately thinking the main use case for me would be something like a melee only battle, where you can get some kind of advantage. But that's really because I don't have someone like a Mylar, or I don't know. I'm not fully sold on it yet. But it sounds like there was a somewhat of a bit of consensus around both of you that we got 4 chums, maybe 4.5 chums on this. I think the only one that you didn't like was Ilthane, the life summoner, which is actually Ilthane's not my favorite, but I think I can see use cases for it. So just to be clear. So now to wrap this portion up, I'm curious if you are looking at all 6 of them, not giving price predictions, but can you give me either the order in which the market will value them, or more importantly, or if this is easier, maybe give me like the top 3 in terms of where you think the market will value them, not how like you think you're going to use them, but in terms of like price points, right? Which ones of these are going to be like the Mylar, Lorna, and Ouster of the group that are like a little bit of a tier higher in terms of price, and which ones are going to be the bottom tier? Luthien?
Thispa, Fernheart, and Aquatus, I think would be the top 3.
Thispa, Fernheart, and Aquatus. Okay. What about you?
I'm going to go with Thispa, Aquatus, and then, I think Fernheart and Skargor are kind of tied. But if I have to pick just the 3, I'm going to go with Skargor.
Really? Over Fernheart?
Yeah. I think it's going to be ridiculous.
Okay.
And again, I that's not how I'm going to play it, right? But just the opportunities.
Fair enough. Okay.
To do ridiculous damage. I think it's just going to be dominant.
Fair enough. Okay. I mean, I'm not considering like where the community sentiment is. You just seem so big on Fernheart that I was surprised that you're putting Fernheart in the bottom half.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's the unpredictability of Skargor, right? Someone's going to win, and again, I play emotionally, right? So I might just want to just get in there and just wipe.
I mean, who doesn't play emotionally? I mean, bots, right? But most of us just like, can I stick Dr. Blight in here somewhere? At least, sorry, that's my general strategy for.
That's my strategy too.
I need a 7th slot just so I can add Blight into here.
One thing I will say about all these cards, and this is again another emotional component, the artwork on these is phenomenal. Everything about them is just extraordinary compared to what we've had back in beta, even in Untamed, right? The artwork is really extraordinary.
I am blown away by the artwork. Even compared to Chaos Legion, this artwork is insane. Yeah. I'm so proud of the creative team and what they've done with this. It's nuts. And that's one reason I want to go so heavy into Rift Watchers, because I just think it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
It is mind-blowingly beautiful.
Yeah. I would love to see, literally artwork on my wall.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, take some of those wallpapers. The wallpapers that Nate shares. Yeah. Those are cool, man. I wouldn't mind having like printouts of those, like with the Rift Watchers coming through and the portal.
Yeah. I hope they start selling posters or something with the artwork. That would be insane. Yeah. Like maybe in the voucher shop or whatever they're planning on doing.
That's a missed opportunity. I wonder if they're gonna have some at Splinterfest. If they don't,
that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Like I want that. I mean, I would love that in like a goodie bag right, for Splinterfest. I feel like they should just print those out for folks. But I mean, I would also consider like buying one if it was cool.
Yeah, or like art prints or something. Yeah. Like, you know how Disney does like art prints that you can buy at Disneyland and stuff. Like, I would love some art prints of these characters.
And then get them autographed at
Yes. Oh my gosh, it'd be amazing. I can't wait. I really hope they do something like that. Splinterfest is gonna be amazing.
Oh yeah, we can nerd out on Splinterfest for sure. We're behind on chat, so I want to rip through these, just recognize some of the comments here. We don't have to get into each of them, But Icy Flow saying that's pretty cool. Chris West in the house. What's going on, Gathering the Magic? Looks like the Death Splinter is becoming internal injury style, dealing damage to an opponent. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. By the way, Aftersound, how's your delegations on the Aftersound YouTube? Oh, we should do. It's doing great, dude. It asked me if I wanted to jump up to gold.
Nice.
which is crazy. So we can save some giveaways for the end of the stream. Either for the end of the stream or we can do it Tuesday, depending on how this goes. But yes, it's looking pretty good. So got funds ready for 100 packs, half for me, half for the wife. Very nice. I'm going with 1,000 packs is what Woody's saying. I just need SPS to hit 9 cents. Ooh, interesting. Oh, okay. So I'm going to keep stopping because I want to get your guys' opinion. You know me, I don't like doing price predictions. You're welcome to do them, but that's not the question that I'm asking. The question I'm asking is there an SPS price point that is significant for you in terms of being a decision maker, or helping you to make a certain decision, right? If SPS were to hit X amount of cents or whatever, you would all of a sudden be able to buy that many more packs or something, or that's what you're targeting. Does that make sense? Like, do you have like a number in your mind? Again, it's not necessarily a price prediction, but it's just like, ooh, if SPS hits X amount with the amount that I have, I will go in heavy on like this amount of packs or something.
Not necessarily for me, because I'm an SPS hoarder and I don't want to sell it at any price.
Fair enough.
So I'm actually having a really hard time mentally preparing myself to part with some SPS for Rift Watchers, even though I purchased more SPS specifically to spend on Rift Watchers. It's become part of my SPS collection and I don't really want to let it go, you know?
Yeah,
so that's hard for me.
Once you hold it, is there a point at which you would ever sell some SPS?
I don't know. I'd never thought about it. I never really thought about it because I like SPS so much and I want to hang on to it. And I probably should have a point where I sell some and take some profits, but I'm a very emotional investor. And I know that's like the worst type of investor to be, but I'm very attached to my SPS and I don't want to sell it.
Oh, that's fair. Okay. What about you, Darkestnyte? How are you feeling? Like, is there any price point that you are targeting? Not as a prediction, but it's just like, ooh, if SPS hit this amount, like I would go heavy on Rift Watchers, or I would change my strategy.
So, like Luthien, I am a big fan of SPS, and even though I've started the unstaking process, the act of actually hitting that button to buy something with it, I'm not feeling good about that, right? I would say, though, if it hits $1, let's go, gank. If it hits $1, then that changes everything, right? Yeah. I will take profits at that point. Because, again, everything is volatile, right? And if it hits there, I think a lot of people will sell to take profits, right? So, again, emotional, but the emotionalism doesn't come from just what it is, right? It comes from the belief of what the game is going to look like in the future, all of the use cases, right? And I don't want to be one of those stories that says, oh, I sold my SPS for $1. Like, that'll be tragic, right? I mean, think about this, right? We're in a bear market right now. Yeah. Does any of this sound like a bear market conversation? Like any of it?
No,
it doesn't. Does it even feel like a bear market? No, it doesn't. So if this is what we're doing in a bear market, imagine what's going to happen in a bull.
Yeah, I remember seeing Aggie in the map chat saying that he daydreams about SPS price in the next bull run. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's a little too much hopium for me. That's a you know on this channel we get a little allergic to hopium, but don't get me wrong, I still daydream too. I think $1 is important for me, not because I want to sell, a chunk of my stack, but TMI, like I got really involved with crypto in the past year and just exploring a bunch of different projects, and one of the things was like being a little too degen about getting into Chaos Legion and Splinterlands during the hype cycle. So
me too.
part of it is that if we were to reach certain levels of SPS again, I would need to, or the responsible thing would be to take that out to reduce some of my degen consequences, right? So that's why it's important for me. But I do want to be holding a stack long term, because and again, this is not meant to, don't go out there. There's none of this financial advice, but like I would love for there to be a day, realistically speaking, years away, where we see a $10 SPS, right? Or maybe above, right? Because the way that they've designed their tokenomics, similar to Luna, but without the fatal flaw death spiral, is really fascinating to me. And then on top of that, they're just creating all types of utility for SPS around the board to go along with all that burning. So unless they make major changes to the white paper, which, where we're starting to see that now with the proposals, I mean, I want to be holding a good chunk of it for the long term.
And you bring up a good point, right? So as a SPS holder, you now have the ability to influence more strongly the proposals that pass or don't, right? That's important, right? So again, we see a bright future. And again, I don't think it's hoping, right? If you look at all the things that the team is doing, I feel they're doing the right things for excellent long-term success of the game. We're fiddling with it now, right? Like they're fiddling with it right now. They're dealing with odds. They're changing the reward structure, doing different distributions for material, and those are all the things that they need to do. Some of them are not going to be popular, right? Some of them are going to be very painful, but to get through that pain now rather than during the bull cycle or bull run, I think is important, right? This is the time to really make the game what it's going to be in the future.
For sure. All right, let's catch up on some of the other comments here. Of course, I wait for SPS to pump, maybe able to get 200. Cool. Luthien After Dark is my new favorite. Actually, there you go. I mean, that sounds sounds like it might not be PG-13, but unless there's some flipping opportunity, I'm not buying packs for an Icy Flow. I feel like at the beginning, well, I don't know. It depends, but I remember Chaos Legion when they first came out, you were buying packs and the cards were worth way more. Dishonesty's in the house. What's going on? He's saying,
hey, Dishonesty.
Fine when pre-sale starts for me. My offer still stands to sell one kidney. All right, well, this is not the black market Liberty Grid, but I wish you best of luck in your health and your Splinterlands aspirations.
You only need one.
Yeah, you only need one. Who did I see? Someone like in match or something was just like, yeah, if Splinterlands hits or if SPS hits like a certain thing, I'll buy back the kidney and then sell it again later. It's just like taking some profits. I'm about making money, so that's the thing. Oh, I'm gonna wait at least 3 months after the full Rift Watchers. Okay, fair enough. Spycoon, if they come up with the Destroyer title, Luthien would get it by default. Yeah, I mean, I don't know when. Maybe the mini set for Rebellion, because I feel like the next title for Rebellion has to be the Rebel, right? Like, what else could they?
Something
what else
like
could
that.
they do?
Yeah.
Splinterlands is bringing people together. Thanks for explaining, Luthien.
Hey, Luthien, do you have a title now?
No, I don't.
Oh, yeah.
I will after Splinterfest, though.
Yeah.
Max Monka, it's good to have you here. All right, y'all are talking to each other. Dallin will be OP. The power of the new epic summoners in gold is unfair. A level 5 epic summoner can cast level 7 rare cards at Gold League.
Well, make sure.
I mean, that's not unfair. That's just what it is.
Yeah, I mean,
and I forgot about that little change. Not change, but just like little thing. Any purchasing strategy for Rift Watchers? Okay, we got into that. I still prefer magic damage over range. I mean, who doesn't love magic spam? Well, the Rift Watchers card purchases a package contributes to CL airdrops. No, they will be separate, I believe. Wait, what does bum or chum mean? Bum means bad. Chum means good. Chum's like a friend, like somebody you want close to you, right? Am I getting that right?
Someone you can count on.
Someone you can count on. There you go. All right. New Death Rift Watcher summoner is better than Walkout.
Every summoner is better than
Hey.
I'm not a Waka fan.
Those are some fighting words right there for Darkestnyte.
It's true, right? You just want them to be so much better considering the price that we all paid, right? And,
well, I didn't. I chose not to.
Yeah.
And I didn't.
Yeah. I mean, poison. I mean, I win with it. I win with it enough.
I do get beat by it several times, so
the problem,
and it's so annoying.
Right. The problem is if you're playing Death, you know what it's about, right? And I typically will bounce back and forth, Mimosa, Rotwell, and what's the other one? The negative range person. I can never remember her name.
Countess Lamont.
Thank you. And I mean, again, you can look at your opponent's play style and pick the appropriate one, right? Oster, I play a lot, right? Because I like the reflect along with amplify. Fantastic. So, yeah.
So Gavin is saying Dahlon's so good. Cripple and life leech. Yes, please. I did not realize you get the extra health there. That's actually going to be pretty big. I'm excited to use phase and backfire with slow monsters and reverse speed. Actually, that's a good way to look at it too. Luthien gave the secret away for Dahlon.
Oops.
Myler is better than Fernheart. Lorna is better than Ilthane. I think I can still agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope people will leave Dahlon alone. I'll grab him cheap with pleasure. Let's see.
Absolutely.
I could see myself using the life card in low mana battles that I expect Sloan. That's fair. Maybe if it's like a life only. State of Survival. I already asked Aption about this, but just wondering if you, Darkestnyte or Luthien, would prefer higher mana cards or additional card battle slots with higher mana matches. So essentially, like, do you want 20 mana cards, or would you want to have like a 7th and 8th monster or slot?
Wow.
That's hard.
The added complexity in the game. Wow. I mean, those extra slots, while it seems cool, right? It would be very difficult to come up with strategies, right? Because they would easily be determined. I think I would rather hire mana creatures.
I think my answer is probably the same. Yeah.
It's weird because just thinking about it, like, I'm so used to 6 slots, right? It was a summoner and then was it 5 monsters? No, sorry, summoner and then 6 monsters. And it's like the thought of like having one more slot there gives me this weird anxiety. I'm just like, I don't know. What do I do with it? Maybe this is the blight slot that I've always been asking for. So I can just throw, no matter what the rule set is, I just throw blight in at the end.
Now, you bring up an interesting point, right? If there were a rule set that says, I don't know, reinforcements, right? And you get an extra slot periodically, I think I would be good with that.
That would be cool for brawls.
Yeah, or brawls.
I would like that for brawls. You know how you can get extra mana for brawls? It'd be really cool if you could get like an extra slot.
There you go.
What if the extra slot was dedicated as a Gladius card only slot? That would incentivize people who don't have Gladius cards but still brawl to like start leveling up. Because I mean, most of the time you want to use a Gladius card if you can, just because of the opportunity for it. But if if they required you, then that would get a lot of people to start, grabbing Gladius packs.
Right.
That would be great. Yeah.
Gather the Magic, Aquatis plus Pellicor Bandit, Supply Runner. Time Mage is life, but I think you might be thinking of someone else. Plus Blind on Flying Squid. Yeah, oh gosh. Aquatis is going to be fun to play with. The thing is, RNG based still could backfire on you, pun intended, but I like it still.
That was good, dude.
How much do you think each summoner will cost to max? 46 copies is going to be tough. Yes, Epic are the most expensive, just because the drop rates are low as well. Do you guys have price ranges you're expecting these to be at?
I have no idea.
I have absolutely no clue.
All right. Sloan is the worst among CL summoners, and now with Ilthane, Sloan will be nah. Grum, Test the Wide. I think they were talking about what we're using. Oh, Kuth is in the house. What's going on, Kuth?
Oh, that's a cute picture. The cat. I like that.
Oh, cute cat. Cute kitty. Down plus redemption lineup is going to sting. Legionnaire Alvar. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of good ones to play with Skargor, I think. Again, it'll be interesting. I don't know if I'm sold, but as your marks, what's going on? Skargor looks nice in poison and Earthquake. That's what you were saying. I do not summoners without damage.
Real quick, what will be the first card that you max out for the new summoners? That's actually, I think, a great question.
Aquatis.
Interesting.
Because I play water a lot.
Same. Now the question is, I would love to see a mirror match of Aquatis versus Kelia, because I'm curious to know what that looks like, right? And again, so much of what Aquatis offers is RNG based, whereas like you're gonna get the armor and the +1 speed with Kelia, every single time. So that it'll be cool to see some mirror matches, and I wonder if anybody could I feel like people could probably simulate that now.
Let me check the QA server and see if they're out there.
See if they have Aquatis available. So Virus is saying, I wonder if Force Field will be more in Riftwatcher cards. It could potentially be Forgotten One, Almo Cambio.
Oh, that's going to be brutal.
Yeah. Skargor would have been...
If you miss, you're going to take damage.
Yeah. So Matt's saying, we don't know what new cards will come in this set to add synergy. True. Imagine Grum being Bloodlust and Enrage. Grum also gets Giant Killer. Aquatis is really the MVP of this set. I like Aquatis too. I think it's not necessarily that Aquatis is the best. I think Aquatis is the most exciting to play with because okay, I think Aquatis is tied or maybe actually a 1A to Thispa because I can't even fathom all of the combos that you can do with a Dragon Summoner with Phase across all the different splendors. Like I haven't even thought through that yet.
So in terms of price, though, once these cards are out, what do you think the price of the Chaos Legion summoners will go to?
I think most people are tapped out on Chaos Legion or they're slowly acquiring. I just don't think the market changes much for Chaos Legion. I think it's not that it's separate, right? Not that it lives in a vacuum, but it's just like people who are acquiring Chaos Legion cards and packs will continue doing that, probably at a little bit of a slower rate. But that equilibrium, even though the volume shifts down, the equilibrium kind of stays the same. And so I don't think that changes the price. Like I don't know, even though I was hoping for it, I don't know that we ever see like $1 summoners, even Sloan getting down to $1. Yeah. But if it happens, it'd be great. It would be easier for me to max out. And then I'm sure I know Darkestnyte, you've talked about it, and I think Luthien as well. Like you'd consider getting like multiple max copies of decks, right? At that point,
I have multiple max copies of decks.
Oh yeah, Luthien has already, but Darkestnyte, you and I've talked about that. So
yeah, I'm again the future, right? I need to make sure that I'm able to take advantage of these cards, right? Maybe I could sell some. And again, I've only sold one card ever, to my regret.
You want to say that card again?
Jotun.
For how much?
It's like $35.
Ouch.
Sorry to make you go down memory lane, but
I need it as part of my therapy.
Yeah.
So so it's I'm not really, and these cards I know I won't sell, right? Because they look like artwork, right? They're the true NFTs, I think, Web3 gaming. So I'm not gonna sell any of these cards. So I know that once I acquire those assets, it's gonna be very difficult for me to separate myself from them. So.
Fair enough. All right. So Flaviano's in the house. I'm excited for Reflection Summoners. We're getting to the point where many players have solid CL decks, and success will depend on having the best option for every situation. Agreed. Yeah. Charlock and Molten Ogre.
Yeah.
With Scars gonna be awesome. Oh yeah, the True Strike.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Well, that's gonna be crazy, right? Because you're not gonna miss, right? And I think Charlock is pretty fast already. Let's see.
The Water Summoner is kind of goofy looking. The artwork on Oshur and the Reflection's Legendary Monster is sick too. Yeah. Hey guys, random thought from Dragon, but I am thinking about Halfling Alchemist paired up with Conqueror Yasik, having attack power on the back line. Interesting.
Oh, yes. I like that. I like that idea. See, I'm really excited for Yasik because I think that the chaos of having everyone with Scattershot is just going to be absolutely insane.
It's going to be nuts.
I can't wait. I think Yasik is going to be so powerful. And I keep hearing people hate on that. Like, oh, it's too random. Scattershot's too random. But I actually love Scattershot and use it all the time. And it can be really devastating, especially since Taunt is so meta right now. It's going to be nuts. Yeah. Go buy packs. Go buy packs, everyone.
Fan of Scattershot as well. I wasn't really sold on it until you started like showing me some of the value on it. Okay, sorry, this is gonna be totally off the rails here, but I don't know if I've said it publicly, but one of the abilities that I thought would be really cool for Rift Watchers, but now obviously it's not gonna be for Rift Watchers, and I don't think it's good for like a main pack set, but one of these like more niche mini sets where you get these cool abilities. Is what if the ability was camouflage? So essentially you make your entire backline disappear.
What's that? Isn't that the same as Taunt?
Huh?
Isn't that the same as Taunt?
I guess so, but essentially you're giving any monster taunt now by putting them in front.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Scattershot doesn't work on monsters
with
that
camouflage,
have
right?
camouflage.
Yeah.
They can still get blasted, but they wouldn't be able to be directly hit.
So how many cards are there with camouflage? Because there are quite a few now, right? So, and if I'm not mistaken, even one that's neutral.
I don't know. I just like
Blight.
the idea of like hiding your entire back line.
Yeah.
Blight's neutral and Blight has camouflage.
Yeah. And I think there's also Scavo Hireling has
Venator Kinjo has it too.
Venator Kinjo. You could make a back line that's pretty camouflagey.
Yeah, well, yeah, but imagine if you could like make everybody any monster. Well, again, I'm just kind of daydreaming here. I think I
might
wonder,
be too OP.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, really? I wonder. So here's what's nice is because now with Rift Watchers, I think what Matt was talking about is how like they're trying to with Fury, the new ability, they are trying to rebalance the taunt meta, right? Yeah. And so I feel like it's not good now, but maybe in the future, whenever we get the mini set, then all of a sudden you reintroduce this potential like taunt thing with camouflaging the entire back line. I don't know. It's all about like more complexity in the future, but I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, look at the Countess, right? Sinesh, right? She has camouflage and she's, I mean, oppressive, right? In the right way. So imagine everybody with that, right? I mean, I don't know.
Be too much. All right, fair enough. All right, if SPS hits 15 cents, I buy 2 validator license nodes. Ooh, that's if you get them. Here's the thing. Are we going to hit 15 cents before Tranche 1 sells out? Because all of a sudden,
I don't think so.
Your price is going to go up.
It's a trickle right now, right? So I don't think so.
It's been happening faster. I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
Well,
we still have a long way to go. Yeah. You know what they say, Luthien? Never marry your bags. Mitchell or Michael, I'm sorry, saying sorry, Luthien, did you want to respond about your wedding vows and all of that stuff?
And my marriage to my SPS? No, I have no comment on that.
No comment. So I have 100 vouchers and 5,000 SPS set aside. Plan for 60 to 75 packs. Very cool. If SPS recovers $1, it will be a crazy bull run. That could 5x that, but I don't see SPS getting above 50 cents for years. See, here's the thing, right? Like I want to be very clear when I'm talking about like SPS hitting $10. I don't even know that I would say that I would expect that in the next bull run, which is gonna follow the Bitcoin halving 2024, 2025, right? So I'm talking like 3 years out at least. Yeah. If it happens before, I'll be a happy camper. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know.
The team is working on a lot of projects, right? That could influence the cost of SPS well beyond Splinterlands, right? So that's the thing we have to watch for.
Yeah.
How does the Genesis and the Tower Defense, how does that impact the SPS price?
True.
We can't really predict, but it could be pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
So level 2 epic summoners are great for bronze as they will allow us to use level 3 rares. Agreed. So Funko 2 Farfetch. Oh, I know what you're getting at here. So someone tagged me in a post on Peak D with their guess that the Friday announcement in terms of like these collectible things, Friday's announcement of the Monday announcement on the town hall.
Of the announcement.
Yeah, the announcement of the announcement that where Yaba said he's going to be in the town hall. They were guessing that it's going to be Funko Pops. Do you guys actually? So I'm curious. Do you have any guesses as to what this announcement that would draw Yaba to the town hall would be?
I sort of wonder if it might have something to do with Aqualis. I think that's the project that he's been working on on the site. I think it's called Aqualis.
Okay.
Aqualis.io, I think. Hold on, let me look it up.
I've never heard of it.
So I'm wondering if it has something to do with that. I don't know exactly what it is. Baron knows more about it than me. But I do know that, if you go to Aqualis.io, there's info on it there.
Aqualis.io.
And I know that Matt has been working on that on the side, like as an advisor or something for them. I don't know. So I'm wondering if it might have something to do with that. I don't know. I really have no idea. We'll see.
Fair enough. Darkestnyte, what about you?
I'm hoping it's the announcement of the Node software being ready to go. And
that would be nice.
Yeah, that's really what I want.
Well, it's not that. Okay, let me be very careful now. It's not that because he was saying that it's like some kind of like collectible that'll bring people in. So I don't think it's going to be. I mean, the Node software might be ready. But I don't think that's what the announcement is.
I mean, because here's the thing, right? When Matt comes, usually dumps a bunch of things, right? It's not usually just one. So I'm hoping that somewhere in his, in his announcement, as a hey, oh, and by the way, the Node software will be available next week.
Yeah.
That will be perfect.
Well, we'll find out in a couple of days. I'm trying to look up equalis.io, and I don't think I'm spelling it right. So
AQUALIS.
QUALIS.io.
Yeah, so he's like an advisor for them. It's something to do with Leo Finance, I think.
Revolution in DeFi capital efficiency.
Oh, cross-chain. Oh, nice. Oh,
interesting.
So I know nothing about this kind of thing. I'm not very smart when it comes to like financial stuff. It's not my forte. Baron knows a lot more about it than I do. But, it looks interesting. And the fact that Matt is an advisor for them.
Well, this is just good to have on the radar, even if it's not announced Monday.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you. I will have to check that out. Very cool. So Yuki saying cripple will give 1 HP if it hits armor, but I don't think it gives extra HP.
Oh, yeah, that might be accurate, actually. So if it hits the armor and it takes away
1 health,
1 health. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay. Apple's got another new player question. When a monster with 1 speed gets reduced by enemy's ability, the 1 speed becomes red color. Does that mean it's slower than regular 1 speed? I don't think it can't go below 1.
I don't think so either.
Yeah. I'm calling it $8 for least favorite to $15 per BCX for epic Riftwatcher summoners. I think 8 to 15 is where we were looking at earlier. On the last one, we were kind of just trying to do some price ranges, I think. Just looking at where the epic summoners are currently at. So if we take a look here.
So roughly $700 to max them out.
Yeah. Like, here's the thing. Do you think they'll be more expensive than the beta epic summoners, 2 mana with no abilities? I mean, I think they have more use cases, but...
And there's also more of them.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right? There'll be a bigger supply.
So I can't see them being above like the $20 range, because that's also where the legendaries are, and I don't think they'll be above that for Chaos Legion, even though they're technically more rare.
There will be less of them than there are of the Chaos Summoners. And I always feel like summoners are always the bottleneck. There's never enough summoners. So I'm always, that's something that I always try and buy is more summoners, because there's not enough of them, and we're going to need them for lands. I don't know. I think summoners are always going to be expensive.
Yeah, I would say for these, the gold versions might be a better buy, right? You'll have to buy fewer of them, right?
They'll be 10?
Yes, I think it's 10.
Yeah.
So that might be the way to go, right? So maybe $150 each. I mean, you're going to pay a premium for it, right? But I think long-term value is going to be there.
Yeah.
And you'll get that 10% bonus in our shares, right?
Yep.
So Icy Flow saying Aquatis will be stronger in bronze and silver. Thisba for the win. Aquatis really synergized with the current modern water. I mean, the current modern water lineup is phenomenal. So as long as so few packs CL are sold, like right now, prices for CL summoners will be quite stable. That's what I'm thinking too, Osco. I don't think we're gonna see much. I think we're gonna see a slowdown, but that's just because people are elsewhere. It doesn't mean the prices are gonna go up or down.
I think Rift Watchers will be really good for people that have holes in their decks, right? Like Luthien said earlier.
Yeah.
There's a hole in your deck. Maybe you don't get everything, right? But you identify the weakness of your deck, and then you plug those holes, right? And I think that's what's going to be good.
I'm getting everything. I want max everything.
I think Rift Watchers, or at least what's interesting with Rift Watchers, is that, and to your comment about like plugging the holes in your deck, is I feel like it's going to help balance modern. So people who don't have Untamed and Dice, it seems like there's a lot of, like, if you don't have a Lear Deep Swimmer, now you can get someone like Ilthane. Now, is that just as good, right? But like the abilities from some of those legendary summoners we're seeing, right? You talked about Kitty being, or at least I talked about Kitty being in the new legendary monster, like the promo card, where you now have a dragon that can tank heal essentially.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah, I think we talked about it off screen.
Potentially,
Right?
yeah.
So yeah, that I always have to balance whether I use Archmage Arius versus Kitty. Right, Kitty usually wins, but now I have another option, right, where I can still get my tank heal. I can boost stats of multiple creatures. So I think that's going to be a synergy that's going to be really good.
Yeah, for sure. I hope the new Fire Summoner comes the same time as Rift Watchers. I mean, I feel like it could drop it any day now. It's just a matter of, are we going to get, the packs for it. Fernheart is my MVP. We can finally make use of all those green archers. I watch Alpha Investments for MTG collecting. I'm going to be Alpha Investments for Splinterlands.
There's only 101,000
left. Yeah.
Left. I just checked. It's 101,604. So we're getting there.
Yeah.
Yasik is going to create meteor storms. I like that.
I can't wait.
Oh, yeah.
Camo cards are solo mana, though. Very niche. Matt saying, look at you guys getting all cryptic now with your inside info that you're trying to remember not to let slip. Do you guys have inside info?
No.
Info?
I have no info.
I'd be surprised. I have inside info, so I can't say anything.
Yes,
but
Rift
I wanted to get. I mean, guys, you just have to wait 2 more days. And actually, sorry, I've heard rumors and hints. So I'm just at a place where I don't want to get in trouble with anybody. I don't even know the full details, but I'm excited for Monday. This girl low-key just exposed Monday's town hall. Ooh, maybe you are onto something. Alex, or you got the inside
It was
info?
a guess. It was totally a guess.
Luthien sharing inside information. Who's your source? We're gonna get to the bottom of it. They're out.
It wasn't even my guess. It was Baron's, so you can blame him.
Baron, how did you know? Is Baron the one that's into this project, Aqualis?
I don't know if he's really into it. He just
aware
has
of it.
looked into it. Yeah, I mean, I was aware of it, but I think Baron's looked into it more than I have. So
hey, there's a roadmap there. Interesting.
Interesting. Does it include Splinterlands and being announced on a certain Monday in September?
I'm
gonna go look now. I'm curious.
Yeah, they have Q4. They have their live launch. So something's happening.
All right. Okay. Interesting.
But nothing Splitterlands related.
Not yet. They're gonna announce it on Monday, according to Luthien. Who's got the inside info?
I have no inside info.
I'm super curious what you guys think about. We just talked about that. Settle around $10 to $20. People will raise price once they realize how hard it is to pull epics. Agreed. Think about how active this game is with low number of users compared to other games. I agree. There's a very vibrant community here that's like uber engaged, with what's going on. And this is the way I look at it. I'm just like, okay, even if the community's small, it does grow organically every day, right? Because even if you just bring one more person who's like us, who spends their time thinking about the game, right, that it's just increasing the baseline of people who are like hardcore believers in the project.
I was thinking about this before we got on. I think one of the best advice I would give to new players is right now, join a guild immediately. That should be one of the first things you do. I've been looking at Song of the Phoenix. Man, those guys are rocking it over there. Thank you, Virus. Just rocking it over there, right? I mean, who would have thought, a lower level guild would be so much fun? It's not the cards that you have. It's not the level that you play at. It's the people that you're engaged with. Yeah. So guild. That's definitely the thing right now.
Yeah. I remember when I first joined, it was hard to get into a guild. Do you guys remember that point in time where people were looking for guilds, but there were no guilds that were open?
Yeah.
And now there's more guilds that are looking for people, but I think that could flip back.
Yeah, I think so too.
Agreed. I mean, part of it was it was so expensive to start new guilds at the time. So guild spots were just highly coveted and people were very selective. Whereas now it's just like, we all realize the value of where guilds are going, or at least hopeful where the value of guilds are going. I mean, actually, it doesn't even matter if you're hopeful or not. You will be able to monetize your guild soon with SPS Brawl rewards, right? So I think a lot of people are focused in on that.
Yeah, I think you really recognize the value of good players right now. And I think that is going to be a thing going forward for sure.
So Scott's asking, do we know when the non-card market goes live? I heard sometime in June of 2022, but we're still waiting. So that was the last update that I heard.
Land is rough.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Land is supposed to come out then too, or something. Yeah. But, oh my gosh. There was a comment in Map Chat that actually made me laugh out loud. Like just reading through it, and all of a sudden I burst out laughing. And it was Gank because they were talking about what, huh?
Of course it was.
Of course it was, right? Yeah. Darkestnyte thinks I'm like a huge Gank fanboy, which
I do say that you are a Gank fan.
I love Gank too.
Is cool.
Gank is awesome.
I love Gank's energy, and I will say this. I will say this always just to clarify. I don't always agree with Gank, but I love his energy and I love his voice in the community. I don't always agree with him, and I don't always agree with how he goes about things, but I love what he brings to the community.
He's a perfect protector for the Splinter.
Yeah. He's the what they say, like Bitcoin maxis, they're like the hornet's nest or the hive's nest. Like he's one of those protectors. So
he's very passionate.
He's
a very passionate person, and I absolutely admire and respect that.
Yep.
So they were all in the chat talking about what the potential announcement for Monday is. And then like people were throwing out guesses, and then someone responded to one, and it was just like, no, they said it's something we've never seen before. And then Gank responded, he's like, so land? And then everyone's just like, oh, that one hurts, man. That one hurts. It's too real.
That's awesome.
All right, so sure that. So rumor has it the next big thing is some sort of collaboration with OpenSea.
I heard somebody talking about that.
Yeah, because I think Matt said collectibles, so I think that's where the rumor came in from. If we get 1 million players, they will need to print future sets at 100 or 200 million packs. Chaos will be viewed. I agree. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how many max copies will there be. It's not even like in the 100,000 range, I think, for summoners within Chaos Legion. So yeah, I love my guild. Go Brawlers. Yo, let's go. I made it back. What's going on? No, we never sleep, Butters. I mean, Darkestnyte really doesn't sleep. What time were you texting me last night?
Oh,
I was like, go to sleep, dude.
You started that. So yeah. So my problem is that's when I catch up on all my content that I can't get to during the day.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm watching videos, and it's just too much. So,
I mean, even Luthien was like up 14 minutes past her bedtime yesterday.
It was more than 14 minutes, and I blame Aggie. He wanted to show me it was Aggie and Rondon. Both of them were like, Luthien, listen to this. Listen to this, Luthien. And they're like showing me this dark country music, which I had never heard before. I'm not a fan of country music. I mean, there's some of it that is okay, but generally I don't like country music, but I really like this stuff. It was really good. I was surprised by it. But yeah, they kept me up way past my bedtime. It was past 11 o'clock by the time I went upstairs to go to bed, and then
well, I appreciate you waking up early for the stream today.
Of course.
Let's see. Plan B coming for you, disciples. What's going on, Butters? I hope land soon. I bought another plot. Gank and Walking Keys. Yeah, they're a fun combo.
They are.
Gank is trying to set up a boxing fight with Logan Paul, like him and Logan Paul.
They've been talking about that for a while.
I mean, if they do it, that'd be awesome. I mean, Logan Paul's name anywhere near Splinterlands. I mean, say what you want about Logan Paul, but he's a big draw. So that many eyeballs on Splinterlands would be interesting. Gank gives us all noobs +2 armor. Silent Fees is doing a great job. It will be nice when SPS rewards are included. Virus, indeed. Only 3,800 max epic summoners for Rift Watchers. Pack cost speculation for Rebellion. I don't even want to go there. We're not even close. But yeah, I mean, look, if they keep just doubling the pack prices, then over time.
Hey, what do you think about the price of the tower defense?
Oh, Luthien, we haven't even talked tower defense. Are you thinking about that at all, Luthien?
It's kind of in the back of my mind. I might buy into it. I'm not sure.
Are you a tower defense fan?
I didn't know what tower defense was until recently, but Baron apparently has played some games that he liked. So
you've never played a tower defense game without knowing that it was a tower defense game, like as a genre?
I had never even heard of it. So yeah, but apparently Baron likes that kind of stuff. I don't know. So we might buy into it. Not sure yet. As far as the pack prices go, so from my understanding, is you won't need, like, you'll get more bang for your buck per pack. Like, you won't need as many cards or whatever they are to level things up. It's not like it's not like in Chaos Legion where to max at common you need 400.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that the pack prices are higher because you need less of them.
That would be good.
You know, one thing that I don't think people are really kind of absorbing with this, and I'm still wrapping my head around the details, but just to throw it out in our conversation now to see if you guys can just bounce the ideas around, is if you think about it, the packs are worth $8, so the cards obviously are worth more. So the question is, what is the value of the cards? And I think one thing that is not being associated with this, just because we don't even have the frame of mind or reference because of Splinter, but each individual card is going to have its own ECR, which means each individual card is going to be like, once you've played for a couple of battles, you can go to another card and your account isn't affected, right? So each card in a way is more valuable. Now, is that value equal to 5 cards in an $8 pack? I mean, that's, the market will decide that. But I'm excited for the ECR being moved to the card level rather than at the account level.
It's different.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to play tower defense while my ECR on
Splinterlands is recharging.
Right? So going to bounce back and forth. So.
Yeah. $10 in SPS, 5 vouchers. 1,000 DEC for Rebellion. Oh, I don't even know what Rebellion's going to cost, but we're not even there yet, guys. We got to sell out of Chaos Legion first. Don't hurt me, please. I'm with Luthien. I thought tower defense was defending a tower, but you actually use a tower to defend something else. Yes. Indeed. Same Darkestnyte. Okay. We're now an hour and a half in. How are you guys doing on time? We good?
Yeah, we're good.
Good to hang out for a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. So the title of the stream is supposed to be Bum or Chum. We did a little bit of it, kind of offhand with the epic summoners. But how about we jump into some Chaos Legion cards, or maybe some of the older sets? Okay. So kind of have just a rough way for us to go about it. But I thought we'd start with summoners first. And while I know the market, we're looking at the market, so this is going to dictate, the prices and all that. I want to know, again, almost in a vacuum, but how do you rate each of the Chaos Legion summoners? So if we go with Kelia, I'm going to skip Kelia because I think this is a universal Chum.
Yeah.
But in terms of your usage, right? Not what the market dictates, and in terms of like the context that these cards have for you within the broader spaces within your deck, right? The holes, not the holes, but like the value that they hold in your deck. And so Luthien playing more modern, whereas Darkestnyte you play a little more wild. Let's go on to Obsidian, right? For you personally, is Obsidian a bum or chum? Meaning that you play it often, or that it's a card that you like to go to for things. So Luthien, why don't you go first?
Definitely
Chum. What about you, Darkestnyte?
I haven't delegated to my alt account.
Fair enough. All right. What about Thaddeus Brood, Luthien?
Chum.
Darkestnyte?
Another bum,
really? I thought you liked him.
I do, but
but you use Ouster, don't you?
I do. That's my
Ouster's not maxed.
See? Okay.
But so if it was maxed, who would you pick?
Ouster.
Yeah. And that's why. So here's the thing, right? All of these would be chums if I didn't have the deck that I do. If I were just starting now, this would be my roster for sure. And
that's why I'm not answering this question, because these are the only summoners that I have, right? So,
and from that perspective, they're pretty good. Well, except for Slum, but everything else is great, right? Mm-hmm. No problem.
All right, let's move on to Tarsa. What do you think about Tarsa?
I never use her.
All right.
I just don't. I mean, I don't think
we finally found a bum for Luthien. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't think that she's necessarily a bum. I just don't use her. I do use her in brawls when I'm playing with like Chimney Wall Stop. I feel like it's
let's dig into this a little bit. So when it comes to Tarsa, you don't use Tarsa probably because you play Jotun more often.
I don't have Jotun. I just don't play fire very much.
You don't play fire very much.
I do occasionally, if it's a 13 mana battle, especially if it's poison, I will play Tarsa and Forgotten One.
Fair enough. But once Yasik comes out, Tarsa will probably not get used as much unless, of course, you have to, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, I think the last follow-up for this is if you look at Tarsa in reference to the other fire non-legendary summoners within modern formats. So Kid Yuff and who's the Pyre. How would you rate Tarsa amongst those three?
Chum.
Okay. What about you, Darkestnyte?
So I have
and you use all of wild since you have some of the wild summoners too.
Yeah, but I would go for Pyre, right? So if I have a choice, it's either Jotun or Pyre.
Okay.
Right? For the speed, right? So, and it's lower mana, right? It's 3 as opposed to the 4. Speed, I think for me, is just much more useful
in meta, yeah.
In certain contexts, right? Now, Tarsa is great, right? +1 melee, +1 health. I should use it more, but I just find that Pyre is much more useful.
No, fair enough. I mean, that's exactly the answer we want. All right, finally, for Chaos Legion summoners, General Sloan.
Bum. Absolute bum. I never used Sloan ever.
Yep.
Right,
even before I maxed out my Lorna Shine. Even like when I had like a level 5 or 6 Lorna Shine before I finally maxed it. Even in Champion, I was still using Lorna Shine over Sloan.
Fair enough.
I prefer Mother Kala over Sloan.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why?
I'm not using a whole lot of range, right?
The +1 off, I guess. All right, fair enough. I mean, okay, so here's the thing. Obviously, I like General Sloan, but that's because for me, this is the only summoner that I really get to use. Whereas if we look at, Grandmaster Wraith, my General Sloan usage has come down a ton when it comes to life because I'd rather opt for Grandmaster Wraith. And I'm sure Lorna and Chancius, if you have Chancius, are going to be better options, as well as like Peak Rider too, right?
Yeah, Lorna was probably one I should have maxed out for dice. Probably the card I should have maxed out for that. And
Lorna's so good.
Like it's ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous again.
Okay, so let's move on to just a legendary summoner so we can round this out. Grandmaster Wraith. Bum or Chum? Chum?
For sure.
And
Big
Quicks?
Chum. Oh, I'm sorry. Go on.
I would say Bum.
Really?
Bum. Interesting. Okay. Well, but this is in the context. Do you play with Kitty often, or what is your go-to dragon summoner then?
Kitty. I rent Kitty.
Okay.
When I have Kitty rented, I don't know. The Archmage bot likes to play with Quicks.
It does.
I'm just not a big fan. I don't know.
I mean, I don't think there's well, here's the thing, right? Like I play with Quicks because it's the only dragon summoner that I have leveled up for gold, right? But whenever I get a Kitty, or Darkestnyte is kind enough to delegate a Kitty, or I rent one or whatever, like I'm always playing Kitty. Now, I am curious to know, if we look at modern format, where do you rank Quicks the Devious amongst these?
I think Bright and Bloom is definitely better.
So you go Bright and Bloom over Quicks. How about between Quicks and Camilla? Or is this almost like situational at this point?
I feel like they're both kind of situational.
Fair
I don't
enough.
know.
Okay.
I only have a 1BCX Camilla, so I don't know. That's kind of tough. But I honestly would prefer Drake of Arnak over Quicks.
Interesting. Okay. Well, there you have it. Bum at the bottom of his own category. All right. Let's hop into some of the dragon monsters now. And I think we're gonna get some interesting answers here. Maybe predictable, but interesting nonetheless. Carnage Titan?
Chum.
Same for you?
Chum. Oh, absolutely.
Chaos Dragon?
Chum.
Okay. Void Dragon?
Huge Chum.
Desert Dragon?
Chum. It's one of my favorite cards.
Really?
Love Desert Dragon.
For you too, Darkestnyte?
Yeah.
So underrated.
Yeah. Right. So here's the thing, right? If you can actually zoom in on it and look at all of its stats, people love Demon Shark. right? But this to me is a better demon shark.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like way
Thing's a beast.
Yeah. And in the new meta that's coming with behemoths, it's gonna wreck shop.
Yeah.
I feel like it should cost more than 7 mana, honestly. I feel like it's that good, and I can't believe it's so cheap.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's so cheap. I have so many max copies of it just because I keep buying them because I love this card.
Yeah.
It has piercing, it has trample, it has retaliate.
Everything.
It's a monster of a card.
I think I could have predicted your answers for all these. What I really wanted to get to was Zyvax Vool. Bum or Chum?
I'm going to say bum for now, but I think that recharge could have more potential in the future, and my answer could change.
Okay. I would love to get your thoughts on why you think recharge could be more valuable. What could they do to improve it?
Well, something that's really nice about recharge actually is that it ignores force fields. So if a monster has force fields, it will still get hit with all of the damage from recharge because it has a base of 2 attack. So it's less than, what is it, 5?
5, yeah.
Yeah. So it'll still hit with all of the attack from the recharge. So I think that there's potential.
Yeah.
And this one has death blow as well. So I've actually seen this used quite effectively. I think it was Brybro who showed me a battle where he used this against Llama Cube and just decimated. So situational Chum could have more potential to be a better Chum in the future. But for the most part, bum at the moment.
Fair enough. I think I've used it in one game to beat a Lamacron because the rule set was like perfect for it. So I was able to like take advantage of that. But yes, I agree. All right. So we're doing monsters now. The thing is so I don't want to go monster by monster because I think most we can probably agree on. But where I think we were finding a lot of disagreements, Luthien, was in some of the commons. So I feel like it could be fun. Well, actually, you know what? I want to organize it by splinter. Or you know what? Never mind. We'll just stay in the market. So now I'm not going to go through every monster, but I do want to get your thoughts on specific ones. Radiated Brute, bum or Chum?
If you don't have Phineas Rage, Chum. If you have Phineas Rage, bum.
Okay. Darkestnyte?
Same. Absolutely.
Yeah, Phineas Rage is phenomenal. Now, this is kind of like a modern Fire Beetle or whatever it used to be, but how do we feel about Lava Spider?
So much better than Fire Beetle. I think it's poison. I think it has snare.
It does.
So it'll automatically hit any flying monster. Like it can't miss. That thing is amazing, and I use it all the time. It's so good in Little League. It's a really, really good card.
You think it'll be fun with Yasik as well?
Yes.
Yeah, it'll get poison everywhere, right? So yeah.
Very cool. All right. Let's go on to the water monsters. We've already talked about Kulu Swim Hunter, so we can probably we can skip water because I think we know the answer to most of these.
Are you sure? Are you sure you know the answers to all of those? Are there any that you think I would say bum for?
I don't think so.
Hardy Stonefish, get out of here.
I love Hardy Stonefish.
Yeah, we're not even talking about the 1 mana cards. I mean, those are just fillers. I feel like they're chums by default just because of their utility, right?
Look at the stats of Hardy Stonefish, okay? For 1 mana, look at the stats. Look at it at max level. Right? It has 2 attack for 1 mana. It has 2 shield. It has 3 hearts. If you use that thing in Equalizer, it is so good.
Fair enough. Okay. I never looked that far down.
Do you have mine maxed out, by the way? So yes. Yeah.
You have yours maxed out?
I have it maxed out in gold foil.
Nice. I think that's actually a smart move for...
Actually, what's the price at gold foil?
Gold foil is 76-ish. No, sorry, 39 cents per BCX. And you need 38 of them.
Not bad. Yeah, it's not bad at all.
Yeah.
So 0.39 times 38
and it's a card you probably will use. Yeah,
I use it all the time. It's good just to stick it in the back against Sneak. Like because it has the shield and it gets more shield from Kalia, so it can get hit a couple times and protect your backline from sneak.
I think
so
I made
a lot of utility.
Like I made a video a while back that it was just like if you're playing anywhere in silver and gold, like non-diamond, right? Like just buy a gold foil version at 1 BCX because it doesn't change until you get to like level 7, right? So if you're playing in silver, then just buy the gold foil, and then even still, it's like, yeah, okay, what are you missing out if you don't like if you essentially if you buy a level 1 and then don't level it up to level 8, which is in gold for me, then at that point you're not missing out on much. Sure, there's like additional speed, additional health, but most of the time I'm using this as a meat shield, right? And so it fits in so many scenarios. So to get the extra 10% on our shares is worth it for me, and that's why I have a single gold foil one that I'm using. But maybe I'll go ahead and level that up.
I wish the artwork were better. That's what
that's what Rift Watchers is for. Okay, was there any others that you want to go through? You've already schooled me on Kulu Swim Hunter, but if you want to say any words for Kulu Swim Hunter, Luthien, please feel free.
I just think it's a really great card in low mana, and it's underrated.
To be fair, I have taken your advice, and I actually use it quite a bit more than I used to.
Good. I'm happy to hear it.
I love the speed.
Yeah.
I love the speed and the damage in gold, so level 8.
Yeah. There's a rule of thumb that actually Baron came up with. If you look at a card's mana cost and you look at how much damage it causes, you can kind of get a good idea of how good that card is. If it causes as much damage as it costs in mana, it can, and this is mostly for cards that don't have abilities. That's a pretty good, baseline for how good of a card that is. And that one at max level causes 4 damage, and it only costs 4 mana. So that's a pretty good card.
Yep. Well, for gold level players, I think this is great, even at level level 8. Actually, even at level 6, which is the beginning for gold, because that 4 speed and 3 damage is very nice.
Yeah.
Sorry, I gotta bring the gold perspective for other folks. Goblin Psychic, one of my favorite cards to play with, but I am curious to get your thoughts on Bum or Chum, considering that you have many other options within the broader modern as well as wild formats.
I say Chum, because any healer is going to be a Chum for me. Plus it has silence, I believe.
Yeah, level 7.
Is it? Okay, so that's gold. Is that gold
that's
level?
Gold, yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, what was it? What's the one? Is it Mushroom Seer? Or I always get those two confused.
Yeah, Mushroom Seer.
Is it Mushroom Seer that has silence? So it kind of takes the place of that. Plus it has the tank heal, which is awesome. So yeah, like that card. Plus the Affliction as well.
Affliction, yeah, that's another big one. Chum for you as well, Darkestnyte?
Yeah, it was one of the first ones I maxed out in Cancel.
Now, I use this dude as a meat shield, but I kind of like him for 3 mana, especially up in gold where you get stun.
Yes.
But I am curious again. Chum for you? Okay.
Yeah.
Again, because I'm asking in the context of like all of the cards that you guys play with. Is this one that you go to by default?
I do go to that pretty often for Little League in particular, which is a rule set that comes along quite often. It's also good in heavy hitters because of the stun. So I like that one.
What about you, Darkestnyte?
Agreed. Yeah. This is an excellent card. Yeah.
Even with all of the wild tanks that you have, you still go to this one?
Remember, green earth is one of my weakest, right?
Sure, fair. Okay.
Yeah, so it fills in a lot of the gaps of cards I should have gotten back.
Good point. Now, here's a card that I thought would be used more often, but I find myself not using it as often. So how do we feel about Venari Knifer?
I don't use it very often. I like that it has thorns and backfire, so you get hurt if you hit it, and you get hurt if you don't, if you're melee. I have gotten absolutely destroyed with this card and Llama. So
really?
I have played against this with Llama, and it is insane with Last Stand.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it was like a no healing rule set or something like that. So, situationally, it's a great card.
I mean, with Llama, it's at 13 mana. That's insane.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the speed on this thing is going to jump up to 8, right?
Yeah. Couldn't hit it. And, yeah, it was very, very powerful.
Interesting. Okay. Well, that's If you have a llama, then I can understand the usage. I feel like it's a great tank. It's just it doesn't fit in with the rest of the meta, and I think that's primarily because of not General Sloan, but what's her name? Obsidian is like, for the most part now, when I'm playing in Modern and I'm playing against other people, the majority of cards that I'm going to be going up against are whenever it comes to green is going to be Obsidian, and so due to that, I feel like he's not great at magic protection, and I always feel like I need to have a good magic tank. But I was wondering in like the broader, maybe wild format for you, Darkestnyte, if this guy has any value.
I've never used it. I know that I should use it more, right? It's a great sneak protection, right?
Yes.
So in the sneak rule set, it's perfect. Just put it in the back. It's fast, so when the sneak comes in, if it misses, it doesn't
backfire. Yeah.
When you combine it with Queen Mycelia, right? It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a good card. But again, I feel that there are better options, and so I've never used this card in a battle.
What are some of the better options that you would opt towards?
For sneak rule set, typically I'm going to go for something with retaliate, right, and armor, right. So right now would be chain golem, right, would be a good option. Again, if you look at the mana, right, per what Luthien just said, the mana seems a bit high for what you get out of it. If it were, let's say, 4 mana for that, or even 5.
Yeah, 5 would probably be okay.
Yeah, I think I would use it then. But at 6, I mean, again, there's so many good options or better options that this one just kind of falls by the wayside.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Do either of you have any specific comments about Venari Scout? Otherwise, we can skip.
I wish it had scavenge, like some of the other opportunity cards.
I'm gonna go with Bum then from you, right?
Yeah, I mean, I do use it. I do use it occasionally. Sometimes I do like opportunity lineups.
I use it in low mana, like a little.
Yeah.
So.
I just wish it had scavenge, like some of the other low mana opportunity cards, like maggots or parasitic growth.
The thing is, I will probably call this Bum, even though I end up using it a lot. It's just, if I have the option to use this guy in a low mana game or Uraeus, I always go Uraeus.
Yeah.
And then if it's like a Fog of War, then I'll throw him in so I can get some kind of like opportunity attack.
Yeah. I feel like the dodge on him just isn't that powerful of an ability, because an opportunity monster, you're typically going to put it in the back line. I don't know. Yeah. I would say Bum on that one.
Bum. All right. Mycelic Morphoid, can we all agree that this is a absolute chum? I love throwing thorns in for 1 mana.
Yes.
Cool. All right. Moving on. Let's see what we got in the Life Splinter. Your least favorites, right? No. We got Sunk Eye Harvester.
Chum.
Chum that we know already.
Now it's Chum because of what happened, last time. I get beat by this one.
Yeah. How do we feel about Stitch Leech?
Love it.
Really? Okay.
That's one of my very favorite chaos cards. It is so good. That thing is a monster. Well, I love sneak lineups with that thing.
Yeah. That makes me happy
passionate
to hear
about that card.
Because I love this card, but I also know that there's so many good life sneak cards as well, right? Especially in like older formats.
That one's
with
the best.
What's the Lynx or something?
Feral Spirit.
Feral Spirit.
Yeah.
Oh, this pulls that away. Easy.
But when you get the life leech in gold, I don't know. To me, I love using it. Yeah.
It's so good because even if you get hit by thorns or something, even if they have protection against sneak and you get hit by thorns, it's not really going to hurt you that much because you have the life leech, unless they have shield. But you can take some hits with it.
He's a favorite of mine to use in poison rule sets too, because I love playing the combo of Wraith, Uriel, and Adelaide Brightwing in poison rule sets. And then he can keep himself alive while still doing damage as long as he's eating 2 every turn to counteract the poison.
And look at that at max level, 4 damage for 3 mana.
Yeah. And in a blast rule set.
Oh yes.
Ridiculous.
Yes.
Yeah.
So good. Especially if they have a monster with camouflage at the end and you've got that sneaker going in between.
Exactly.
Oh yes. It's just eating up all that life. It's amazing.
Now let's go to Chaos Knight here, because I personally thought that this would be getting a lot more utility once Grandmaster Wraith came out, but I don't use it very often, which means I'm assuming that Luthien's going to say Shield Bearer is a better tank, and I agree. But I'm curious, like, is this a universal bum then?
No, I wouldn't say it's a bum. I think it's good, especially at max with the Inspire and Giant Killer and Shield. I think it's a pretty good card. I think that typically I would reach for Uriel, but in a lower mana match, I do use this card. Especially since it has that Inspire. It's really good when you're using a sneak lineup, because it can increase the damage that those sneak monsters are causing. So I do use this card. I would not say that it's a bum. It's not the best Chum, but I think it's decent.
Yeah. So, well, here's the thing. I agree with you. The thing is, I'm playing in gold right now, so for me, there's not much usage. But as soon as the Inspire comes in, I could see myself opting for it in many scenarios.
Yeah.
Especially even like dragon scenarios, right, where you just want to give some inspiration to some of the melee monsters. I love this card, but I would love to get your thoughts in the broader context of Modern and Wild on Blinding Reflector, because I think especially
absolute Chum. I use this card all the time, especially with Grandmaster Wraith, because it has the Reflect. So it's, with the Amplify, oh my gosh, it's so good. It's only 3 mana. It has Blind. It has Reflect. I mean, this thing is awesome. I love it. Love it.
Whenever I see a Ruler of the Seas on the other side, potential, I will put him in front with Pelacor Conjurer right behind. Yes. And Ruler of the Seas is done in 1 turn.
Oh, yes.
It's a perfect counter. I love it.
It's amazing.
What about you, Darkestnyte? I know you don't play Life much, but is that one?
No, actually I do. So for me, it's more situational on the rule set, because I use Silver Shield Paladin. And it has similar.
Oh, he's good too. Yeah.
And he has Shield, right? So I think combined with Wraith, it's just a much better for me.
Yeah. And Sunkai Harvester, I think we're all fans of now. Yes. I mean, I still don't use him, but I can understand his value with the press once you get into gold.
Yeah, and he's so low mana, and he has a decent amount of attack. 3 attack for 4 mana. That's pretty good, plus a press. So if you're up against somebody who has like Almo, like this card is so good against Almo because it's not gonna. I mean, unless they're using like Mylar or something that gives thorns. It's not going to have return fire magical effect because it's a melee monster. So it's going to be doing 6 damage against Almo, which Almo can be really hard to take down. So I really like that card. I use it.
I'm learning something here that I think is I'm learning why you and I have many disagreements on Bum or Chum, and I think I don't even know what a lot of these cards do at Diamond Plus necessarily, and I can see the value there. So for example, like with Kulu Swim Hunter, or even with this guy, right, the oppress damage jumps like literally 33% or 50% up, like doing 6 damage to an oppress opponent versus 4 damage in gold. Like if I'm going up against the cube, it's like, yeah, sure, I can fight against the cube, but 6 damage for me does way more, or against like Almo.
Yeah.
So very interesting. All right, let's go to Death. Darkestnyte, your favorite. So just because it's Death, I would love to. Why don't we reverse it this time and start with you? Silent Shavi. Can we assume is a Chum, absolute Chum? What about you, Luthien?
I never use it.
Oh, I'm glad we talked about this one. Please tell us more, because I use it all the freaking time.
I don't think it's a bad card. I just don't personally use it that much. Usually when I'm playing Death, I'm doing more like magic and less sneak lineups.
Okay.
I mean, it's certainly a good card with the cripple and the piercing, and it does a decent amount of damage. So not to say it's a bum, I just don't use it.
Fair. Okay. Let's see here. It just doesn't fit within your broader strategy. Riftwing.
Okay. So for me, I don't use it nearly as much as I should. Again, options, but it should be a Chum for anyone that's just starting out, for sure.
Fair enough. What about you, Luthien?
I never use it.
Never use it.
I thought that this was going to be a really huge Chum for me because I love the backfire ability. I think it's fantastic. But this thing never seems to backfire for me, so I just kind of gave up on it.
I have won some frustrating games, frustrating for my opponent because of backfire. So it's something. It's a nice meat shield for me, but that's because again I'm playing primarily chaos only.
Yeah.
So I don't use it very often, although I like the headwinds that it offers. So in certain rule sets, it becomes very powerful because let's say there's no magic, for example. I love pairing it with Quicks and what's his name? Quicks and Harklaw, because all of a sudden, like, I'm really controlling what my opponent can do with the demoralize from Harklaw, and then kind of the -2 ranged attack with Harklaw's shield. So there's a lot of times where I find that to be really handy.
It's an awesome off tank, right? And snipe protection, right?
Yeah.
So in a no magic rule set for sure.
Yeah. What about Shadow Snitch?
Man, I had great hopes for this card. So, for me, affliction is really important, right? And that's one of the things I go for. I maxed this card out early with the expectation that there would be rule sets where I couldn't play Mimosa. However, with Dr. Blight, who is in almost every game I play, I never really got an opportunity to really use it. Sometimes I'll put it in just because I feel I should use it more, but it doesn't really do much to ensure a win.
How about you, Luthien?
I agree with that assessment. I had high hopes for this card. Also, I maxed it in gold foil. I thought I was going to use it all the time. I do use it in Little League sometimes, but typically, no. And again, I don't really feel like this is an appropriate card for dodge. It's supposed to go in the second position because it's a reach card. So why the dodge?
Yeah. Interesting. There's really only one rule set that I use this card for, and that is melee only, where I know I'm going to be up against death, and specifically another Cursed Windeku, right? Hoping that my affliction can hit them while I put him behind my own Cursed Windeku with heal. So situational, but I would say I would say bomb, just because there's really only one situational. Crypt Beetle, I'm curious to get your thoughts on.
That's a carry card for me. Chum, big time.
Yeah, okay. Me too. Yeah,
I wish he was more of a meat shield, but I do like him in non-magic rule sets. I think the problem for me is in non-magic rule sets, I hate playing Thaddeus because it seems like a waste. But I can see him being valuable with other potential summoners. Sorry, Darkestnyte, what were we going to say?
Yeah, so for me, it was the replacement for the Undead Skeleton. Right? Yeah. So the 2 mana, it was just a replacement for that. It's a better version of that. If this is a card, if you play Death, you definitely need to have maxed out.
Yeah, definitely. I completely agree. I love that card. And again, you can see at max level, 3 damage, 3 mana.
Yep. And shield. The shield.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Cool. I think we're all fans of Carrion Shade here as well. 1 mana flying.
I don't really use it unless it's a filler. Yeah, it's a filler. I don't go looking for it, but
I mean, it's a filler, but I feel like I guess I just use them as fillers all the time. But I also love it as a tank in Equalizer rule sets, like throwing it in front, because actually my favorite strategy when it comes to Equalizer rule sets, not that it always works, but I love throwing both of the Life Leech people somewhere in the middle, right? Venari Bonesmith and Life Sapper. And then I love throwing Carrion Shade and like Chaos Agent in front. And then just like having them build up their health through Life Leech, and then maybe Dr. Blight at the end. Again, very specific for certain rule sets.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, my replacement, if I'm going to put 1 mana in, then I'm going to pick, I'll tell you what it's called. It is Shadowy Presence, right? That almost always gets the slot for a 1 mana creature.
Yeah.
See, I feel like in Diamond and Champion, we don't often have situations where we have 1 extra mana. Like it's usually we typically have higher mana battles. So I mean, not always. Sometimes we get the lower mana, but typically, it's higher mana, and we're trying to fit as much in as we can, and we can't always complete the mana. We can't always fill it all. So I feel like there's probably less utility in the higher leagues, but there might be more utility in lower leagues, if that makes sense.
Yeah. If I had to pick a 1 mana, again, it would be Shadowy Presence or Cursed Slime Ball.
I
would go with Theros Nightshade. She has Triage.
I love
that card.
Another one there.
I have a gold foil one that I pulled from a dice pack.
That
was my first ever gold foil legendary, and I had no idea what I just pulled when I pulled it because I just started playing.
That's awesome. All right, let's hop into some of the neutral cards here. Chaos Agent, I think Universal Chum, right? Especially at the highest levels.
Oh yes.
Supply Runner, I think starting in silver, Chum. Disintegrator, though, this is one of the neutrals that is decent, but I don't use him often, so I'm curious to get your take on if it's a bum or Chum.
I'm gonna say Chum. I don't use him a ton. I like him in melee only rule sets, or melee can attack from anywhere. I will put him in the back because he has Retaliate. So, and usually when I use him, I try to get something in there that has stun because he has heavy hitters. So, or whatever, knockout. So it'll be like the heavy hitters rule set where, he'll do double damage to a monster that is stunned. So I'll try and put something stun in there. I do like that card, and I do use it sometimes, but not always.
Gotcha. Okay. And what about you, Darkestnyte?
Chum, for sure.
Chum?
Yeah,
really? Okay. I think the Retaliate at max level does help, and would probably be someone that I would put in on the back line.
And one other thing too, I'm a big fan of neutral cards. So I mean, just the utility is phenomenal.
For sure.
And then Scabo Hireling, bum or Chum?
I'd probably say Chum, but I don't particularly use it. I have definitely been beaten in battles where they had used a Scabo Hireling and I hadn't, and I lost for that reason. I guess I just have not quite figured out how to fit this card into my lineup. I sometimes have a hard time putting in monsters that have no attack if they don't have tank heal or backfire or thorns or something like that. I'm gonna say Chum, but
it's really a bum.
No,
it's a bum for you.
It's a bum for me because I have not figured out how to best use it.
But that's what we're asking, right? It's not. So and I understand that because for me, it's useful now, and I feel like it got even more utility with Grandmaster Wraith, right? Because
yes, for sure.
If I don't want to spend the 7 mana for Adelaide Brightwing, I'll throw him in there for lower mana battles, and he can add a lot of utility.
Yeah.
But what about you, Darkestnyte?
So weak Chum as well, right? I have it maxed out. I know it should be more important than it is, but again, when you start building up your collection, you have so many other options. Would I rather have Scavo Hireling or Uraeus, right? Same mana cost. Which one would you pick?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the damage. I mean, Uraeus, poison, damage, sneak. Not a bad card. It's not. But again, in a field and collection full of options, it's going to fall way down that priority list.
Very interesting.
That's one of Baron's favorite cards, though, I have to say. Okay. He loves that card.
I'll have to get Baron on sometime for his bum and Chum.
Baron doesn't actually play. He has Archmage play for him. So
that's fair enough. All right, we're not going to go through all of the rares as well, but I just want to touch on some of them, unless there's some that you want to get into. But there's ones that I barely use, and that's why I'm asking if there's opportunities here for us to learn something. So the first of this is going to be Jin Apprentice.
I think this card will be great with Yasik.
Okay, but as of now, do you use it often?
Sometimes. I use it sometimes.
What about you, Darkestnyte?
I like to play Magic with Jotun, but I don't normally play with this one. So I'm going to go bum for now. But
he's a little slow.
Luthien's point, to Luthien's point, in the future he could be good, but bum for now.
Bum for now. All right. With water, I actually want to know how. Oh, sorry, what was that?
Did you? Oh, I was going to say, like, those are my chums there. So.
Oh, these. So again, if there's ones that you guys want to dig into, that's fine. But I just don't want us to feel like we're going through every card.
Yep.
Within the water rares, River Nymph. I'm curious how you feel about this and how often you use it, given the abilities that it has.
I use that one quite frequently.
Same.
So at max level, this is something that I miss. Having played when Darkestnyte or whenever Darkestnyte will let me borrow his cards, having played this with swiftness, that is such a game changer for me in Diamond Plus.
It is very good with Valamore.
Yeah. In gold, I just don't use it very often unless I want the cleanse for something specific in a rule set.
The cleanse for me, affliction is just. It's a devastating debuff, right? Mm-hmm. And it can change everything. And so having something with cleanse usually will make it to my team.
Yeah, especially if you're using a taunt lineup where you have the taunt in the front. If that thing gets hit with affliction, you're done.
Game over. Yep.
So if you have cleanse, so I either use River Nymph or Mermaid Healer or both. Mm-hmm. Just to make sure that your
Wave Brood,
or my Kraken is
Kraken, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, not my Kraken. I wish I had a Kraken. Is getting cleansed. To have 2 cleanses in there is pretty good, because if it gets poisoned at one point, but it has already been cleansed that turn, but you have another cleanse lined up, it's like, safety net.
Yeah. I mean, there are many instances where I'll throw a Wave Brood up front and then support it with River Nymph and Murdali Guardian.
Yeah.
There was a time when Kraken was going for $2, I believe.
Oh my gosh, don't tell me that. I don't want to know.
Yeah, it was a rewards card, giving him away for free.
Only.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to do 2 cards from here. Mycelic Infantry.
I use that card pretty often in reverse speed, even though it has the Enrage. I do like that it has Giant Killer, which is nice. Okay. So if you're up against, a big beefy tank that costs more than 10 mana, it'll do double damage, and that's quite a significant amount of damage. That's 10 damage instead of 5. So yeah. And if it's Enraged, it's even more.
What about you, Darkestnyte?
I like this card. Yeah, so it's a chum, but I like it for the shield, right?
Yeah,
so,
that's
same. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the other one, Goblin Tower.
Love.
Tell me more, because I barely use this card, and I wonder if I'm not utilizing it in the right way.
It's so good. It's great in reverse speed. It has Blast. Just put it in the back of your lineup. It's really good. I can see the 5 Renin, actually,
because 5 damage blast is going to get upgraded to 3 on any blast damage now too.
Yeah. So with the new summoner that's coming out, it's a ranged card. It has 5 damage. I mean, that's huge.
5
even
blast
though
damage.
5 blast damage. So even though it costs 7 mana, it's an excellent card. This card is so underrated. I can't believe it's so cheap.
Okay. Very cool. All right, going into life, I like all these Time Mage, Pelacor Arbalist, and Celestial Harpies as chums. If you feel differently or strongly, let me know. Portal Spinner is the one that I wanted to know how you guys feel about. Chum, tell me more, because I barely use it, and I'm the person who likes General Sloan. So please tell me what I'm missing out here.
Well, it has Snare, so it's really good against flying monsters because it'll hit it automatically. Great in Earthquake rule set.
Fair enough.
I love Scattershot. I think Scattershot is a phenomenal ability. I think it really changes the game. I like the randomness of it. It ignores taunt.
Yeah. And I do see that you do get 4 damage here at the max level.
Yes. I love this card.
Okay. What about you, Darkestnyte?
I like it, and I see the utility. I just don't play life enough for this to make its way. And typically, I'm going to play more magic heavy in
life.
Yeah,
fair enough. Okay. I do like playing life in certain instances for Earthquake, just because there's some great flying monsters there with Uriel, Adelaide, Pelacor Arbalist. So there will be times where I will throw Portal Spinner in for the snare. It's just, I don't know, maybe to me the randomness is not my favorite. So, okay. I think. Let me know if I'm wrong, but I think we got a Universal Chum with Curse Windeku, Universal Chum with Life Sapper, Universal Chum with Soul Strangler.
Oh yes. You can't say it like that. You can't just say Soul Strangler. You have to say it like you're a monster truck announcer. Soul Strangler. That's the only way to say that name.
I'm sorry, I didn't know the rules about Soul Strangler.
You offend me.
Tuesday. Come check him out. Soul Strangler.
There you go. You got it.
Dampier Stalker is the one that I wanted to focus on here.
Great card.
Yeah, I think
True Strike has lots of range damage. 5 range damage.
Oh, 5, yeah. Again, see, I need to play in the high level.
I like to put this card with Lure of the Dark.
Same.
Yeah.
So I put both of them in my back line. So wonderful.
I just feel like the 7 mana is expensive. And there are many times when I feel like I'm choosing between, oddly enough, between him and someone like a Silent Shavi, who is obviously less mana, but allows me a little more flexibility with the rest of the team.
This one also has Death Blow, though. So if you can keep him alive, which he will often stay alive in the back line, he's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's good.
Love it.
Yeah, nice finisher. And again, with True Strike, that's a guaranteed damage if he attacks, right? And that's
huge.
It is.
All right, going to the neutral cards. Are there only 3? I guess so. I'll ask again, but just in case I'm wrong. Universal Chum on Zenith Monk.
Yes.
Universal Chum on Zenith Archer.
Yes.
I never use it. I don't know. That one's kind of a bum for me.
It follows your rule.
It does. It does follow the rule. Yeah. And I know a lot of people really like this card. I just don't use it. I don't know.
Fair enough. I mean, I don't use it very often either, but as somebody who does like playing with General Slowing, even still, I don't use it very often. Then again, mine isn't leveled up, but I know that many people like it, and your rule about the 2 damage for 2 mana as a neutral.
It does follow the rule.
Yeah.
It's fast and it has good health, right? I mean, the health for the mana cost, that's crazy right there.
True.
Yeah. Maybe I'm a little bit meh about it because the price has gone up so much and I don't.
Yeah, maybe the value isn't quite there right now.
Yeah, so maybe that's why I kind of feel like that about it. I'm kind of mad about it.
But that shouldn't really affect it because I'm assuming you have a maxed copy already.
Oh, yeah, I do.
So,
but I hear people talking about it all the time and how well it rents and stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this thing is so expensive. Why is it so pricey? And I look at cards like Desert Dragon and they're so cheap. And I'm like, there's this discrepancy there. I feel like there's other cards that are much cheaper, like Soul Strangler, which are better cards.
Yeah.
And they're so much cheaper. I don't know.
Okay, well, that's interesting. I was expecting to do... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I think it's because it's neutral. That's one. Right?
Yeah.
Multiple lineups. And I think that's why Zenith Monk is so expensive as well.
Right.
Well, Zenith Monk is
I love that card.
Absolute chum, dude. Like, I mean, even in gold with the void for 4 mana, self-healing tank with void is awesome.
Yes.
But then all of a sudden,
Magic Reflect.
You Magic Reflect and Diamond, which I don't play with, but I'm looking forward to the day that I can. I would love to play this tank more.
Plus, you can play it in Little League.
Yeah,
exactly. It's only 4 mana. It's such a good tank for Little League. Use it all the time.
Yeah. And he never goes on the field without Amplify, ever. It's gotta have Amplify.
True. Yep. Well, speaking of Amplify, Venari Spellsmith is the one that I wanted to ask you guys about because I never use this card, and I'm curious to know what I'm missing here, if I am. So, Bum or Chum?
I say Chum because I like to use him with Mylar when Queen Mycelia isn't available. So
like no legendaries?
Rise of the Commons, no legendaries. So because he has Amplify and he's only a rare, he's good for that. He's also decent in like if you're doing a redemption lineup.
Okay.
You know, I sometimes use him for that to have 3 redemptions. That's not as often, but you know, I do use him in Rise of the Commons to have that Amplify. So I like him for that. Plus he's neutral and he's a magic card.
What about you, Darkestnyte?
I'm going to have to say bum on this one. I had hoped that I would use him more, but with the advent of Venicor Kinjo, I would much rather use that. Now, Luthien's right? I can't always use him, but I don't really reach for Spellsmith, right? Yeah. I'm going to pick something else.
Yeah, I mean, I thought with someone like Obsidian in the mix, I would probably end up using him more, but even still, that's the thing, right? In most rule sets, I will still opt for someone like Queen Mycelia, just with the added benefit there. But good to know.
But maybe I might start using them more, right? Because I mean, Luthien, you bring up some good points, and just because
there's some strategies there, yeah.
You can't always use Queen Mycelia, you know, in Lost Legendaries or Rise of the Common, she's not there. You know?
Yeah.
True.
So, and they're both 4 mana, so it's a good filler for that.
And maybe that's why I lose those battles so much.
See, we're all learning from Luthien the Destroyer.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna run through some epics. Although most of these epics for me are chums. So if you disagree, we'll start here. Are there any that you think are not chums?
No.
All right, so let's go to water. Any here that you think are not chums?
Nope.
Yes, they're all pretty fantastic. Let's go here. I don't use Acid Shooter, but I almost wonder now with Fernheart if he'll get more usage. But how do you feel about Acid Shooter?
All the time.
I know you do, because you guys love Scattershot. I don't.
And I see people using it in Champion
everywhere
all the time. It's all over the place.
Okay.
This is another card. I can't believe it's still so cheap. It has cripple. It has poison. It's only 2 mana. It does a fair amount of damage. It has Scattershot. It's a phenomenal card. I like that card better than I like some of the legendaries.
Yeah, that card,
really?
I mean, almost busted.
Yeah.
Right?
What?
Oh, yes.
Okay, I can understand the value when you're in here with cripple and poison. But maybe I'm just not playing enough. All right, I got to level mine up because I think
I mean, here's the thing, right? So Scattershot. I mean,
poison. Oh, I only have a level 1. That's why. So
you need to level that up.
Yeah,
like now.
Okay, fair enough.
It's really
because you'll regret not doing that, right? So,
70 cents. Okay.
Yeah, that'll be your next regret. But here's the thing, right? Getting poison everywhere. Look at the mana cost, right? The mana cost.
2 mana. Yeah, you're right.
You're gonna do 2 points of damage right out of the gate, maxed up. But now, next turn, if poison lands, you're gonna do another 2 and another 2. That's pure value.
And here's another point about that. So a lot of the cards that do poison, not all of them, but a lot of them do it to the first monster.
Yeah.
That can be cleansed. Backline monsters can't be cleansed. And Scattershot will usually hit in the backline. Not always, but usually it'll hit in the backline. It's more likely to hit in the backline than the frontline.
Statistically, there's 6 monsters back there. So
right.
Or 5 monsters, or whatever. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. How about Hunter Jarks? Chum, and I think even he just got chummier with Fernheart, right?
Oh yeah. I've been stocking up on that one in anticipation that we would have a range friendly Earth Summoner. So I've been stocking up on Jarksy boy there.
And the price has gone up a bit, right? So
yeah, it has.
But it's gonna be an impressive card, I think.
For sure.
Very cool. All right. For me, I think Prismologist is Universal Chum, Dax Paragon, Universal Chum. Any disagreements?
Nope.
Okay. How do we feel about Temporal Master? This is a card I never use, not even rarely. So what am I missing out here?
I do use that card in the Heavy Hitters rule set because it has stun.
Because of stun?
I have won a fair amount of battles with that card because of that card. Because it has recharge and magic. I think recharge and magic together is a really strong combination.
3 mana isn't bad also.
Yeah. Like it's not like it costs a ton of mana. So, it's doing 6 magic damage. That's huge. For 3 mana. I mean, I know it skips a turn, but I like it. I'm going to say Chum on that one.
Well, again, I'm probably see me with my level 2, so that's probably why.
Level it up.
I will. All right, let's move on to Death. Magi Necrosi is an absolute chum for me. If you disagree, we can't be friends. Weirding Warrior, I don't have leveled up, and I barely use it. That's because
leveled that up. It has
the rust,
right? And it has rust.
And rust.
And it's only 2 mana.
Yeah,
it's only 2 mana. I love that card.
In Shatter, right?
My epics
Shatter
are the ones
too.
that are lagging just because they're the most expensive.
You gotta level that one up before the price goes up, seriously, because that's a ridiculously good card.
Yeah.
What about Insidious Warlock? I have one use case for this, which is really good, but I'm curious if I'm missing something else here.
I like that it has blind. I don't use it that often, but I do like that it has blind. I like that it's magic recharge. I like the magic recharge cards better. I mean, except for Uriel, which is probably the recharge card I use the most. But, I mean, that's doing 9 magic damage every time it.
Yeah. For me in gold, even this the 2 damage, the main time that I will use him is to take out the other person's Heartclaw in a poison rule set. Because I can usually get him for that second turn, and if I can get Heartclaw up front or whatever the case is, that's where he's coming the most handy for me. But otherwise, I don't use him as much.
Yeah, I don't use him as much as I use other cards, but I think he's okay. What do you think, Darkestnyte?
No, same. Yeah. I think it's a good card, has good utility, I think, going forward. But again, other options, right? So, like, who would you swap out of a lineup to put him in?
He just seems expensive for 5 mana. But then again, I guess at the higher levels, you do get 3.
Yeah, that's quite a bit of damage. Yeah. And, as long as it's not a weak magic rule set or the monster doesn't have void armor, I mean, that's going to be... It can take some guys out.
I guess the problem is now playing in Modern with the monsters that I'm up against, for example, or sorry, the summoners that I'm up against will usually be, if the other person's playing Death, they're going to be playing a Thaddeus Brood, which nerfs him pretty hard, or they'll play someone like an Ouster. You know what I mean?
Right.
Those are the most common that I'll see if it's Death versus Death, or if I know that they're going to play Death.
The nice thing about it, though, the nice thing about Recharge, something I actually do like about Recharge is that if they have Magic Reflect, it doesn't hit you back for the whole amount.
Yes.
Because it hits you back for the base amount, not 3 times that.
True. But the thing is, like, it's still, if I know that there's a good chance I go against Ouster, I don't want to be playing Magic cards.
Right.
But yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good card, right? It's just more situational than anything.
Right.
All right, let's hop into the neutrals. I think both of these are absolute chums, but feel free to disagree with me.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, Darkestnyte, you even sold me on Gem Meteor, who I was not a fan of earlier, but I just need to get mine leveled up. What am I at right now? I'm at level 2 still. I need to level mine up to at least get Pierce.
Didn't that one have Blast in the test server? And it was just like broken.
Yeah,
I mean, that would have been phenomenal.
I wish they had left it though.
Me too.
I mean, if you remember the test server, Wave Brood had self-heal.
Did it?
And I was just like, dude, that thing with Void, Taunt, Heal, like nobody's ever gonna get past it.
Yeah,
it's already really difficult to get past that card.
It is, yeah. All right, let's just do a couple legendaries and then I think we can call it a day. What do you guys think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sounds good.
Cool. All right, so most of these I would say are chums, unless we don't like Scorch Fiend or Grum Flameblade.
They're awesome.
I don't use Ifrit Rising as much, but I am curious to get your thoughts on it, as it is one of the lowest priced. Actually, that's not the best way to say it. Lowest valued legendaries. So maybe people are missing something.
I mean, again, with the Recharge, people don't like Recharge. I am starting to like it. I'm starting to figure out how to use it better, how to optimize it. I mean, 9 magic damage is pretty big. And with Yasik, that thing's going to be a beast.
I mean, it'll be wiping out backlines. Yeah.
Put that in the back. It has force fields. So if you get hit with like Sandworm or something, it's only taking 1 damage.
Yeah. Chum for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. I figured as much, but just wanted to get your thoughts. I feel like all chums. I mean, I use them all the time. Yeah?
I don't use River Helendale very much, actually.
Interesting. Okay.
I just feel like his health is a little bit low. I tend to reach for him more in Equalizer.
Interesting. He is the best support card for me and essential to my melee water deck with Kelia.
I mean, I wouldn't call him a bum by any means. Just for me personally, I don't reach for that one that often.
Interesting. I reach for him quite a bit. What about you, Darkestnyte?
Yeah, it's with the Inspire, it's fantastic. And the interesting part, it has the Dispel.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you, at the higher level, I know it's not a thing that I'll say, oh, I gotta have Dispel. But when it hits, man, and you see all those buffs just drop off, you're like, whoa.
It's devastating.
Yeah.
I have a love-hate relationship with Dispel.
Yeah.
It seems like such a useless ability until you see it like win a game for you, because it just nerfed another monster for some. Okay, so let's go over to Earth legendaries. I mean, Queen Mycelia, obviously. Are we feeling better about Eyes of the Fang now? I loved Eyes of the Fang because of the stun at gold. But now with
she's always been a chum.
With
she's always
Fernheart.
Been a chum to me.
Cool. So
always.
I
like the scavenge
the same way, but I agree.
She's really good with she's really good with Dr. Blight. So since they both have scavenge, I like to put on the back line Blight and then Isa, and they're both collecting.
I love to hide Blight behind her.
Yeah, that's good too. That's a good strategy too.
But now I'm wondering if I'm doing it the wrong way.
No, you could do it either way.
Let's see. Okay, so I think we're all chums here. I mean, I use them all the time. With Death, love Lyra. I love Corpse Fiend. Jin Moirat, I really like. He's a little expensive on the mana side. I play him often enough to consider him a chum, but I'm curious with all of the other cards that you have. Maybe Luthien, you're modern, but Darkestnyte with Wild, do you play him often?
I do almost when I can. If there's enough mana, absolutely. This is one of my favorite cards.
He's so strong.
Yeah,
the Giant Killer and so for me in gold, right? The Giant Killer and Magic Reflect is enough to be awesome. I haven't gotten much with the Force Field, but that's just a nice
plus the Void Shields. Oh my gosh, he's so good. So he reflects the magic off of his shields, which is just absolutely insane. He's an insane card, and he's totally worth the mana.
Yeah.
I use him all the time.
Yeah, and this is one that I've started to collect, right, in preparation for
the Death Summoner.
Yeah, absolutely.
Actually, he would be. Well, no, never mind. He's not very fast. I was gonna say he'd be good to put with the Dragon Summoner for phase, but he's gonna get hit all the time.
Yeah, but if he does, not so
yeah,
much.
you got the Magic Reflect there. And not that. We already went through dragons. So. Legionnaire Alvar, Spirit Hoarder, both for me, I would list as chums, but they're also very situational.
Yeah.
Is there any disagreement, or do you feel like you never use either of these cards?
So for me, I mean, I should use Spirit Hoarder more. I have a maxed out copy. It's a great card, has blind, triage. But again, with options, I'm just like, I got other things that I want to put in there. But it's a game winner on its own, right? I think.
Yeah. Especially in Little League.
Yeah.
I mean, it has triage. It has a decent amount of magic damage. It has blind, which is really good.
Yep.
So I consider that a pretty strong chum.
Yeah.
And Legion Alvar?
He's okay. He's okay. I like him in melee only rule sets or melee attacks him anywhere because he does have that demoralize,
which
is nice. I don't think I ever really use him for death blow. Like, I don't know if I've ever seen him actually get a death blow hit. Now that I'm thinking about it,
fair enough.
But yeah, I mean, he's decent. He's neutral, so. Yeah, he's all right.
I think in the coming set, right, with the behemoths, I think that there'll be more utility, depending on how strong they are, right?
Yeah.
When I have seen death blow hits with him against Chaos Dragon, Carnage Titan.
That would be mean with that Giant Killer, Death Blow and Giant Killer. Ooh, I can imagine.
Yes. So, but again, it doesn't happen a lot, right? But when it does, it's pretty devastating. It gets Grum. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
definitely.
All right, let's use your Scavo.
Scavo. Yeah, I mean, I love pairing Scavo with it. It's just the thing is, Wrath made what's his name? Wrath made Uriel just one of my favorite tanks to go to because giving him Void Armor is way better. Like there were times before Wraith came out that if I was in that situation, I would play him as a tank with Adelaide behind him, but I don't know. Uriel is just so much better.
Right. What makes Legionnaire good, right, is the demoralize. That combined with the disintegrator, anything else that has demoralize, basically puts the other side down to 1 if you wanted to in terms of.
Yeah, and then if you use something with shields, like Lord of the Darkness or something in the front, or Heartclaw even, like they can't do any damage to you if they don't have any, if they don't have more than 1 melee damage, they can't do anything to you.
Isn't that nice? It's all so fun for me, like when I can like demoralize and then they're all just like going clink, clink, clink off of Heartclaw.
It's like, oh, stop, you're tickling me.
He's like, I'm gonna get to you in a minute. All these people he's like, I'm just gonna slowly eat through everybody here.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, hold on. Let's catch up on some of the chat.
Sure.
And then we'll get some closing thoughts, and then I think we're good to wrap up. Is that good with you guys?
Sounds good.
All right. So Obsidian, definite number 2 from the Chuny. I don't like General Sloan after reading the lore. Ooh, I don't know what the lore is. I mean, I don't know what the lore says there, but maybe Darkestnyte does.
I think that she went to go fight for the Chaos Legion.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah, she used to be good, and then she's a turncoat.
Yeah.
Was she bullied or something? Maybe there's like a story there where you can have like some. Okay.
She's in it for the money. She's friends with the mercenary guy. Oh man, what's his name?
Oh, Jared.
Yes.
Jared Scar. Yeah.
Her friends. Yeah. Well,
Sispa might be the first. Oh, Leandro, new name here. Welcome. Might be the first summoner I buy. Dragon is great for new players. You're able to do the other folks. Yep. One of my favorites too. I think it's going to be one that I want to get. Quick speeds Jotun often though. I've definitely had success with that. Selling 1,000 CL packs in a day. We should sell out by 2030 something, I think. In the next 14 years. The Knifer's a bum, never dodges anything. Yeah, that always seems to be the case. Yeah. The thorns are nice, but I agree. He doesn't dodge as much as I would like. What's the card you never use in each splinter? Any quick thoughts?
I think we covered that a bit.
Yeah, we did. So he's a meat shield and go a little slow on green. I'm loving the card analysis, Dragon. I'm glad. That was actually a lot of fun for me. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that too. Stitch Leech and Blast, let's go. What's going on, Steve? Good to see you here. Hey, Bummer Chum, we were just going through a bunch of cards that I wasn't sure how to look at, and they were telling me if they're good Chum or bad Bum. Bum is people who like country music.
Hey, I like country music.
Yes. Fighting words.
Well, I have one song that I like. Sunshine and Whiskey, one of my favorite by Frankie Valli.
All right. Frankie Valli, is that country?
Mallard.
Oh, Frankie Mallard.
Ballard.
Okay.
I'll sing it in Vegas.
I can't wait. We'll have to do some karaoke. The Magic loves the Death Splinter. Quicks and No Magic Battle. Yep, Anna, I love that. Love the little hairy guy. I think this is in reference to Scavo. Unless you're talking about me. No, I'm just kidding. Scavo Hireling and Life of the Wraith. Absolute killer. Yeah, a lot of people with some Scavo love. Oh, Jobby made it. Druids made it. What's going on, Druids? Good to see you.
Never late.
Late again. No worries. This channel is 24/7. Feels like it sometimes, doesn't it? I'm super surprised that Darkestnyte does not like Spellsmith with Ouster and Windeku.
Only because I have other options, right? So I use Venic or Kinjo almost universally, always.
Okay. Temporal Master is so good in lower mana to sneak and a shield bearer team. All right. Oh, that's actually a smart move. No abilities with it like Wraith, Lock a Tank that can't die, State of Survival, Scavo, missed it, wait for new summoner. All right, let's see here. Virus is asking Bummer Chum Part 2 when Riftwatcher card stats are released. Are you guys down
for it? Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, cool.
We can even do it when it hits the QA server.
Ooh, the QA. Yeah, we don't have to wait.
So we don't have to wait. We can go, let's go open some packs on the QA server and talk about the stats.
Yeah.
All right. David or Dragon had to leave. It was good chatting with you. We're about to hop off too. Am I able to buy a USDT with fiat and then swap it for DEC? I don't know. I think I saw someone trying to help you with that.
DEC straight from the server. I might do it all the time.
Here are the tokens that you can buy with crypto. So Hive, Tron, BTC, LTC. Out of these, I would say Litecoin is probably my favorite, just because it has the lowest fees, or at least, sorry, not just the lowest fees, because I don't know about the other ones, but it's just the most consistent one that I'm comfortable with. And it's available on most exchanges. Sorry, Darkestnyte, what was that?
I think his end goal is to get DEC, right? So you can just buy DEC straight on the server.
Okay, there you go. It's in Darkestnyte. Press the plus next to see if DEC. Okay. Forgot if Terra Block supports that. Alvar versus Lomacron should be interesting. Yep. I've definitely used that in certain instances. Grund Bummer Chum. I think that he's a chum. He just absolutely destroys some battles for me. Luthien After Dark.
It's official.
It's official. I would love to see Luthien be part of the Drunken Lore.
Oh man, I gotta start working on that.
I gotta make it happen, man. Well, I'm gonna bring my microphone to Splinterfest, so we'll if we have some free time, which we should, hopefully, we'll be able to hop in there.
The question is, I mean, here's the thing, right? Can it really be Drunken Lore? That's the question, right? Can I really be just ripped and then do it?
Or I mean, that's a decision only you can make. Just know that
in Vegas.
And
another thing, Waka.
Another thing, yet another. All right. So we're gonna hold off on doing the giveaways. We might do this on Tuesday, just because I want it to build up a little bit more. But so that you guys can see where the Aftersound YT account is. First of all, thanks to everybody who has been delegating cards. This thing is able to play in gold now, and I'm wondering if I should actually have it move up to gold or not, because again, the summoners that it has are all level 1s, level 2s. So it doesn't really have a gold level summoner, but here are the cards that it has won so far. So there's going to be a good, decent amount to give away, hopefully on Tuesday, and then we'll go from there.
Nice.
But yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun putting the Archmage token to good use.
All right, so you've actually opened up packs with it, right? Because we can give away some packs as well.
No, I haven't opened any packs with it. What do you mean?
Oh, she should have won some packs by now.
Oh, I don't think it's won any packs, but I think somebody donated a pack. I need to try and find out who that was. And if they donated a pack, I'm curious to know if people want to do the pack itself as a giveaway, or if we should open up the cards and give away the cards.
Yeah. I think it was State of Survival. He said, "Did you get the 2 packs I sent?"
Oh, was it you, State of Survival? Thank you. Yeah. What do you want us to do with it, State of Survival? You tell me. We can either open up the packs and give away the cards. Because we have potions on there now. It's winning potions, so we could use it. But if not, then we can always just give the packs away as well. So we'll have a fun giveaway on Tuesday, because there's not much happening this week anyway. So Tuesday will be a good day.
I got to tell you, I'm super satisfied with the Archmage on alt accounts. Like, very satisfied.
Yeah.
Because I don't have time to play those accounts, right? I just don't. I make sure they have the cards they need, and it does its things. It doesn't win 100% of the time. It's maybe, I'd say 50% of the time it's winning.
Dude, if it was winning 100% of the time, it'd be way more than, what is it, $30 on the market right now.
The price goes up and down. Like, the price is highly volatile on that token, right? So.
All right, guys. Okay, so State of Survival is saying to open the packs and give it away unless it's a legendary summoner. All right, if it's a legendary summoner, I'll send it back to you, just because, got to make sure we take care of folks. I will open it later. The thing is, I don't have the account open on here. I need to add it to keychain and all that fun stuff. So I'll get that ready for next time. Plus, we've already been on for 2 hours and 40 minutes. Where does the time go?
Baron's probably going crazy. The kids.
Well, let's go ahead. We can wrap up here. Luthien, Darkestnyte, I appreciate you guys taking the time. As we close out, is there anything that you want to say? Is there anything you're excited about? I will go ahead and plug everything for you guys. Luthien is on stream for Splinterlands TV every Friday and Saturday night.
So I'll be on tonight.
So she'll be on tonight. Make sure, what time again? 7?
8
or
our
8
time.
Sorry. Okay, so roughly 8 hours from now for people who are in other parts of the world. So roughly 8 hours from now is when she'll be on. Make sure you go show her some love. Also, she's always giving away some cool stuff on her stream.
I am, and sometimes Aggie drops by. Like yesterday, he gave me an Epona to give away, so we gave away an Epona.
So you might.
Shawn Michael won it. So happy for him.
Check it out. And then Luthien, anything you're excited about this upcoming week?
Town Hall. I'm always excited for Town Hall, especially when that's going to be on. So.
All right, and then Darkestnyte, do you have any place where you want people to connect with you, or are you just gonna hang out here?
Yeah, I show up when you tell me. This was awesome. This was awesome. I always love just talking about Splinterlands. It's a great, big part of what I do. So,
and Luthien's fun to chat with, isn't she?
Yes, absolutely.
You know so much. I learned so much today. I almost wish I'm going to take this video down so that nobody knows all the strategies. I'm just going to keep it for
myself. Giving away secrets.
Yeah. But no, this was really great. A great way to start a Saturday morning. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
So much fun to talk with you guys.
Well, awesome. I hope everybody here had a good time. We will hopefully try to make something happen for Rift Watchers in terms of a Bummer Chum Part 2 at some point in the future, whenever that does become available. So keep an eye out for that. But otherwise, you'll catch Luthien tonight on Splinterlands TV. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your weekend. And I'm looking forward to chatting with you guys again. I'll be back on Tuesday to talk about whatever happens in the town hall. So we'll go from there. But have a great rest of your weekend, everybody. We'll talk again soon.
Thanks, guys.